Man, listen, y'all. We gonna talk a little shit about whatever the fuck for a little while, but we really got a show. We really got lives. We really be doing things. We ain't looking for no internet moment and trying to run with it and perpetrate and cap and all that sucker shit. We only talk about the facts. Now, hold on.
Hey. Testing. Forgot to turn on my mic. And I hear myself on the monitor. Okay, sorry about that. Look at it. I'm getting to turn on my lights. Oh, wow. Look, I only got this little minute setup just because, it's just me right now. To you guys, hit that individual perspective podcast at gmail.com. Link in the description area. Send me your email so you could join my panel. Until then, I'm by myself. I'm solo. Okay. Individual perspective podcast at gmail.com. My name is Daris D McKinney, and this is Individual Perspective Podcast, and we give a perspective here, okay? And our perspective is the truth. We are unmercifully objective, okay? And the reason why I'm even digging so much into this Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels situation, Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb situation, is because it's such a great example of having an individual objectivity that allows for truth to come in so you won't be blinded, you know what I mean? And you won't kind of be biased either. You kind of just allow the truth to just speak itself in and knowledge when you have realized the truth has been spoken, you know what I mean? So the reason why I open up like that is because we all do have lives here, you know what I mean? We all kind of, we watch our social media influencers and podcasters and celebrities, movie stars, musicians, and sports stars and all that stuff like that. We kind of indulge ourselves in those people, politicians and all that stuff, indulge time and observing what they're doing and keeping up with the swing of things and everything. But truthfully, most people have a life, they got things going on. They're doing so much stuff. They're doing things that they feel that's their task in life and the objective of what they need to accomplish in that day or that month or that year or whatever the goal is. And we all have lives, and we forget how to kind of be objective, to allow yourself to see how things play out, and gives a bird's eye view to what's really going on. Like last week, Anton Daniels had the internet on lock, man. Everybody wanted to interview him. They was probably blowing up his email, blowing up his phone to get him on the show to interview him and stuff after the interaction with him and Corey Holcomb. and I think it was last week. Was this last week that this happened? I think it was. But so the interaction was so contentious and aggressive that everybody was, and then he said that he would never go on Zooms and do any kind of video conference to do podcasting, and he broke that day one after leaving the Corey Holcomb show. He broke it. He was on people's show doing video calls that he just normally would never even try to tap in on them, because obviously they're growing platforms, but why elevate somebody else's platform when you need to elevate yours? So for him, he's like, he broke that rule right after he left Corey Holcomb's show and stuff, and he was hitting everything, man. I haven't caught up on all of it. And it's good points that he's making, and good questioning and Q&A and all that stuff to kind of give more levity to his mindset, what happened and everything. So, and then Corey Holcomb, he's been on, probably, he's a comedian, so he's probably been at comedy clubs where you won't see it been televised. It won't be recorded. He's not on social media blowing up Instagram or X or something like that and putting little clips up on his YouTube. He just sees it as a show that he comes in once a week and he does his show. And he says, like, him and Darlene, they say they never missed a Monday. I mean, never missed a Tuesday. For decades, they never missed a Tuesday. So he's got a lot going on in his life and stuff. And he just kind of let Anton have the floor. But in the midst of letting him have the floor, you can't get caught up and think that you got the best narrative. You got the best voice. And Corey came back, I think today is Thursday, 2 days ago, and my God, he just he just blew it up. But he has been quiet for a whole week or so. So it was like, it's like, okay, all that perspective, everybody's kind of saying that he should have went outside and fought and everything like that. And even myself, I'm like, hey, once he gets you outside for the fade, if you're aggressive like that, if you feel like he's a weak man or that he needs to be physically put into his place, then go fight out. You go in the back in a private situation, y'all have it out like two men, and then whatever happens, it happens, and leave it there. And come back to your platforms, come back with a better understanding of each other and having it out, men used to fight all the way till they lose their breath. You get what I'm saying? And then after that, they kind of know, okay, that's the situation. If you got to test each other's manhood and all that stuff, call it a day after that. You know what I mean? So, but he didn't take him up on that, but it's because maybe it's like how he said he had moments to recalibrate, and he kind of was able to observe, did he really want to fight or not, or if it's really at this level or not, and it made him have to come back and pull himself back. And he said that, and I got to give credit to Corey. He did say it during the actual conversation where he thanked Anton Daniels for allowing him to collect himself and pull back and not escalating it further. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure if when he came in his face and he said, say I suck dick again, and Anton didn't take the bait, and lose control of what he hit, like how he was able to manage that whole situation. If Anton decided to say, nigga, man, you suck dick, I'm positive 100% Corey would have hit him. He would have absolutely hit him. And Anton knows that. He would have absolutely hit him. He was at the point where he had to hit him. He had to hit him. But when he seen that retract, like that pull back, when he didn't say it, then he knew, okay, this is something that could be preserved and we could kind of calm down and collect ourselves and stuff like that. And that's both parties start to collect themselves. Okay. So it's not that Anton was scared of the fight. It's Anton just felt like he wasn't going to destroy his name. He wasn't going to destroy his platform, and he wasn't going to destroy Corey's platform by fighting on air and make it where they got a multi-billion-dollar industry looking at them and making a decision about their channels. So Anton always about the bag, 100% about the bag. So he didn't want to. He perceived that, like, if we're going to have it out, let's do it outside. Let's do it away from all the camera stuff. And that way, whatever happens, happens, and we just got to talk about it later. You know what I mean? And so that's how I felt about it. I believe Corey he wouldn't care about having a fight and walking away and going to do comedy shows for the next month or so until they gave him his channel back and stuff. He was ready to kind of fight. If he just said, "You suck dick," and it would, when he was right there in his face, it'd have been over. That was the last line of not crossing the line into some ignorant, raunchy, degenerate stuff that Corey allowed himself to have. Once he'd seen that Anton didn't say it, he kind of seen, okay, maybe this is not as wild as I think it is. Maybe this guy is not as disrespectful as I think he is. You know what I mean? And it made him collect himself, and he thanked Anton for giving him a chance to recalibrate himself and straighten himself out. You can even, if I have to pull it up, I will, because that's what he said. So the reason why I'm saying this is because it got nasty. It got nasty, and we got to keep in context. I always say the worst thing you could do is not be in context. That's the worst thing you could do. Everybody kind of see a person react to something, and they're not in, and they feel like, that's going too far. No, it's in context. It's in context. In the context, it's terrible. You don't want to do this stuff. Yeah, like I said, these are two guys that I feel like their voice is absolutely needed in men conversations and how men need to conduct themselves and everything like that. Everybody's like, it's all fun and games when you're a mega asshole in the coming up in your life. When you the Tasmanian devil when coming up in your life, and everybody got to feed to your needs and your every whim and everything like that, then you get yourself in a prominent place of stability and function and operation and in outcome, and then you want to reinvent yourself. You can't reinvent yourself. You could put certain emotions of certain behavior into certain other forms, but it's still you. You're still there. You're still the asshole. You're still relentless. You're still an overbearing person that you are in order to get to where you got to. And people, and this is what I don't like about celebrities. And that's why I say I hate this about Jay-Z. I hate this about Oprah. I hate this about Tyler Perry. I hate this about Obama, is that the people are purchasing your books. They're looking at your speeches. They're listening to your music. They're watching your movies to get a straight up what the code is to success. What's the code to prosperity? What the code to peace is. And everybody want to put it in a philosophical business acumen communication. You got to be self-reliant. You got to be you got to get yourself somewhere to passive income. You got to somewhat formulate yourself to where you're not part of the system and you're independent and all this other stuff and all the minutia. But what they don't tell them is everybody that you guys look up to, all the successful people that are doing it, and they're doing it big. Okay, and they're known. The difference between them and you is they're relentless about what they want to do, what their task is, what their goals are. They're relentless about it, extremely, extremely selfish about it, bullheaded, and they pigs to it. female, male, if you find successful people and people that's getting it and doing it, they are so self-centered. They are overindulgent. They're selfish. They're overbearing, and they're relentless to what they want and what they're trying to do and what it takes for them to get that outcome. They'll dig in everybody's pockets around them in order to get to that outcome. You get what I'm saying? They'll use the community. They'll use everything that it is to get to that outcome. And then they reinvent themselves and they give back. And the sad part about our culture is that that's the American culture now. We all have to be overindulgent, selfish, egomaniac, narrow-minded, focus on our goal and our task and accomplishing it any means necessary. Excuse me, any means necessary. That is our culture now. You get what I'm saying? We have elevated people over the last 5 years that were just worker bees. They were just like me and you. They were making and they was in the income raising situation and making an income, a salary, you know, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, whatever. That's what's their life. And now, but we elevated a lot of people going on podcasts on YouTube and saying they piece and stuff, and we kind of elevated them where they're multimillionaires now and all this other stuff, and it's turning money so fast, and so now they even lost like what the baseline of behavior needs to be. So that's why I say it's all fun and games when you want to like kind of take a humane approach, but the whole culture of the level up culture, whole influencer, podcaster, the whole culture is to shit on a 40 or 50-year-old man that's stocking shelves in Myers, that's stocking shelves in Kroger, that's doing DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? That's picking up your garbage. You know, if it's not a 6-figure job or more, we spit on people that are not making 6 figures or more. Why? Because that's the culture. You're not doing enough. You need to find another avenue way. You need to do 3-4 of those jobs and elevate yourself. You don't need to sleep. You need to get up and do what you got to do. That's how we communicate to society. And it's breaking us. It's breaking us. It's because we are telling people to be civilized. But in order to be successful and to be able to coexist and function in this society, you got to be very barbaric. You got to be very black and white and Neanderthal in order to actually execute on what it takes to live in our society. But you want us to be humane. You want us to be like evolved humans under all these guidelines and rules and behaviors and all this stuff like that. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. It's in the eye of the beholder. So the reason why I'm saying this is because all the things I'm about to walk through with this whole situation, it got crazy. It got crazy, but it's all in context. Not the context that they probably even realize or understand, but it's all there. As a person's bird eye view, watching it, observing it, and seeing it in an objective analysis, it's all 100% in context. That's why it's sad to see this. It's sad to see how contradicting in hypocritical people are. You get what I'm saying? And we pass the judgment of hypocritical people, and we're hypocrites. So it's wild stuff. But we're gonna get into it. What I wanted to do is I wanted to start with how can I say? I'm trying to figure out which one. You know what I want to start with? I want to start with Anton Daniels having a panel conversation on on After Hour and on Room 9 channel. It's called Room 9. The channel is called Room 9. This is a panel that he does 3 to 4 times a week. It's really good stuff. He's really great at doing content and even just having a discussion of the world and everything. But he asks us a question that is such a bad question to ask because it makes us all have to give real answers. And people, and sometimes the people who ask the question, they really don't want real answers because it's bad. It's bad. So in order for me to stop being cryptic and kind of go to what I'm talking about, let's start with this one, okay? And then I'll walk you guys through why I'm doing this episode and why we got to go hard on it. You know what I mean? So...
anyways, I got a question for y'all really quickly before we go over to the next subject. I'm saving a super chat, but I got a question for y'all. This is a conversation that a lot of people are having right now that I see. Do y'all think that forget the context behind it. Do y'all think that the majority of conversations, or let me not say conversations, do you think that the majority of podcasts only cater to low vibrational conversations only?
Do you think that the internet or podcasting or social media influencers or the conversations on the internet are only catering to low vibration conversations only? Low vibrational has such a psychoanalyzation, but it's modern psychoanalyzation. And it's almost like a woke terminology, low vibration. And it's almost a feminist terminology also, too. Low vibrational, meaning that like it's not of a higher tier of thinking, of conversation, of engagement, and all the other stuff. And I say, the reason why I say that is because first, I have great, really cool women that I'm like favorable to in the scope of the majority of women. And they're Black, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, all of them. And these are close, white, and these are close people to me and to my household, okay? And they range from gay, straight, you know what I mean? And it's like, and they just really great brains and people to just kind of, you know, they good people. They really good people. You know what I mean? And it ranges, you know, to liberal as hell to, to me being as black and white as I am. You know what I mean? It's literally like wrong or right, yes or no, do or don't. It's just really, it's up and down, you know what I mean? And it's just the way that is for me. So what I see is the majority of podcasts to low vibrational, meaning are they to low dumb people. And it's like, no, man, everybody is watching podcasts. They ingesting other people's opinions and panels of like, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people and their personalities and the communication that they have. You have the lowest vibrational person that you speak of. They're actually intaking this stuff, even if they don't comprehend it so well and so fast and quick and able to analyze it and dissect it and analyze it and give a good individual perspective and eat the meat and spit out the bones. If they're not able to do that, they're always in a day-to-day fight to ingest, and get better and faster in processing it and giving their own opinion and giving their own thought process about what was communicated and summarize it. They are doing that every single time they watch your show, Anton. The dumbest person that you see, the dumbest person is called low vibration, a low vibrational person. That's the dumbest person. High vibrational, I guess, would be the smartest person, the highly intellectual person, the academically savvy person, okay? So I'm being sarcastic with it because we don't have a society without people doing the work of the world. When we all want to be filmmakers and podcasters and social influencers and all kind of stuff that really just gets saturated, oversaturated, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it has no value to it. And you gotta, like for me, I was looking at my stream and while I was kind of I'm literally just going through some of the postings that got posted about Anton, or no, actually it was about this comment that Corey Holcomb said about a couple of days ago. I didn't know about it. And I'm like, man, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And when they camera suck, they lighting suck, they audio suck, they presentation sucks. I got all the bells and whistles. I design all this stuff because I'm a graphic designer, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a special effect, and I'm talking about, I'm not hobbyish with it. I'm 10,000 hours or more in this stuff. You get what I'm saying? I build Netflix. So and prove me wrong. Come and prove me wrong. Put your money on the table. But really, when I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, it ain't my content. Even when I'm kind of trying to collect my thoughts and say the word that I want to say, and I maybe stutter and say a couple ums and some phrasing that I don't really like to say, but I'm trying to micromanage my own communication at the same time while I'm speaking. I do feel that I got a very good professional podcast here. Okay? And I'm looking at people with garbage, with no name. I'm talking about not named people, not people with clout. I'm talking about newcomers, nobodies. And they got 5,000, 9,000, 10,000, 20,000. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? It tells me either my portaling in from Wirecast to YouTube has actually hurt the algorithm that's favorable by the Google server and the Google system, where people don't even know that I'm streaming. And it's like, how do people not know that I'm streaming? I'm live. I remember going to, even in Rumble and YouTube, when you're live, it's supposed to be more valuable than recording something and uploading something. It's supposed to be like a fired up, like, wow, he's live. I don't do nothing but live. And I'm not getting any interaction. No watches, nothing. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to get a third party person to give me the green light to come in to have viewers to my own stuff. I see that even Google has in the back where you can pay them $200 and they feed people to you. Then I want to be the person to show people that don't pay that $200, because that means you don't have a platform that's free to be communicated to people. No matter what you do, you can't even work yourself up to prominence. They take it right away from you. They take it completely right away from you, and your stream stays quiet until you pay the $200. So if that's what the rule is, I would like to know that, but nobody want to say it. But it took me all this time. You go through my history of my podcast. I got hundreds, tens of hundreds of actual episodes that is nobody is seeing my page and my thread until I pay this $200 for them to open and give me more viewers. I can't just come on live and just do this. So when we're asking about the low vibrational stuff, we got to understand that this is not a freedom of speech platform. YouTube is not a freedom of speech platform. Anton Daniel said he do not care about freedom of speech. He doesn't care about beating the system or fighting the system or some righteous cause. He's there to make money. He's there to elevate the podcast and all that other stuff economically for himself. But the conversations that Anton has, he's very a blunt guy. He's very matter of fact and very aggressive guy. And if he is aggressive, I'm telling you, he's not been censored. But the stuff that they allow for him to say, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you guys are banning people's shows that don't even use the terminology and got the N-word all the time, F-bomb, talking about like homosexual stuff and everything. Some wild conversations happen. And look, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm foul mouth. I got a foul mouth. You get what I'm saying? I cuss a lot. I use a lot of profane language, okay? Because you don't see me do it a lot on the podcast. It's because I'm trying to articulate or give an individual perspective and intellectual schematic method process and presentation. So it doesn't, I don't even have the reason to say something inflammatory or like harsh, because until I'm talking about something harsh, I don't use it. I don't have no purpose to use harsh language unless it's necessary to the context of what I'm saying or emphasis. I love emphasizing. So if I feel like I got to overemphasize or be aggressive in emphasizing, you'll hear me throw a lot of profanity. But Anton Daniels and his platform is wow. I love it though. I love it. But there's a lot of people that get their channels banned and they don't even use a quarter, 10% of the language and conversational craziness that the Anton Daniel platform does. But they talk about a culture, they talk about a religion, they talk about a certain structure of business and conspiracy theories to the workings of the inner workings of the higher elites and all the other stuff, and they get banned, demonetized, messed up. You get what I'm saying? So in that conversation, when you're talking about, does podcasts in the communication world, do they just kind of feed to low vibrational conversation? No. They're listening to all of it. All of it in the same. Anton knows this. Anton knows this. He knows his numbers. He knows what his viewers are on the Millionaire Morning Show. And his viewers are on the After Hours show, and he knows that he got consistent viewers, the haters and the actual favors. So he has both of them coming and watching all his stuff on the platform, everybody. So that means even if somebody hates you or they dislike you or they got a different opinion about you or something like that, they're actually ingesting what you got to say in order for them to respond, in order for them to be there to respond. They're listening to it, even if they respond in a dumb, negative way, they're there to ingest it, meaning that they're constantly processing language and communication and backhand comments and wisecracks and judgments and all that stuff. They're analyzing all that. So the process, but the problem is that you're not allowed to be the king that no one talks or responds back in the courts. The peasants are able to pass judgment and disavow in shame and be belligerent and ridiculous to the king. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying if that's how you look at the situation, if you look at it as people are not as successful as you are, and passing judgment on your life and what's going on and what stuff interactions that you have, and if you get into because I seen you on a panel and it's some dumb idiots running their mouth while you was talking, and they was really ridiculous, really like just pathetic, and it was just disrespectful to how they wouldn't like they was passing a judgment. They didn't even kind of let you say what you said, and even if they thought process, they got to have an objective analyze and see, oh, you know what, I was wrong. I didn't see it that way. You just brought something to my attention that I got to equate in how I was thinking about it. They didn't even analyze it, so they was just wow. And you were on that panel for about an hour and 10 minutes. Taking it. Wow stuff. You know what I mean? So even them, it's and I think the things that they were kind of bringing to your attention was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous. The stuff that's Corey Holcomb about to bring up is crazy. It's crazy, but it's in context. And I hate that I even gotta do that presentation and the stuff that he was saying on there and show it on my platform. But we do not deserve, and it's disingenuous and it's disrespectful to the viewer to be like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, and all the other whack ass news media and these fake ass podcasters out here. That's bought and sold, or they collaborating, or they trying to not get demonetized, or whatever kind of weird passive aggressive bullshit that everybody's doing. We do not deserve to know a perspective that should be equated in our overall outcome or judgment. In we only take in what a person, or let's say you, Anton, what you perceive that should be equated and what should be thrown out. No, we decide to eat the meat and spit out the bones. We decide what's the bones and what's the meat. Your viewers decide what's the bones and what's the meat. Not you. Not you. You can give your opinion on it. You can bash people about it, but none of, I'm not saying only you, Anton. I'm saying all filmmakers, movie stars, musicians, producers, politicians, highfalutin society, economic power, financial power, the influencers, all that, all you people. You say what you want to say, you present what you want to present. We decide what's the bones and what the meat is. I'm just trying to find a formula or present a formula to people, individual perspective, present a formula to people where they don't lie to themselves in the evaluation of the meat and the bones. Okay? And I say this because as we go deep into this, I just want you to know that this is crazy, but this comes with like everybody kind of not like get sidetracked from what their mission and their task is. What is your mission and your task is? So we all talk about the degeneracy and the craziness and the trashy culture of the Black Americans, but do you actually play a factor in that? Do you? If you do, I'm not saying it's bad. It's no. You are extremely successful. You don't need no advice from nobody. But I'm just saying, in historical, putting it on the record, we have to analyze now. Do you put anything in the trashy culture? Do you contribute to the trashy culture? And as we communicate, as we see this, it's a lot of stuff that plays the factor to the trashy culture, and it puts into the trashy culture, but it's for the overall greater good of your income, how you help your people around you, how you take care of your family, and how you tie to the streets. That's the greater good. And is that enough to be part of the part of the trashy culture. I'm saying it's downhill. It ain't nothing to preserve. It ain't nothing to repair. The culture, black culture's done. We've been done for like 30 years at the least. At the least 30 years. We've been done. That's why the Hispanics here. That's why different migrants and foreigners are coming here and they placing a foot. They are buying $800,000 to $400,000 houses in our neighborhoods and buying, and you got people buying up property and all this stuff. As soon as they run out of houses in the suburbs, they're gonna move into Detroit. They're gonna move into the inner city if they're not there already. So right now, you got India giving it, a lot of people that came here, they're giving them a startup cash flow. You have our government giving strangers $200,000, $250,000 to set themselves up so they don't got to pay for their apartment, or their actual hotel fees, because it can all be stopped. So what they did was, I think we gave about $500 billion of money to illegal immigrants to set them up. And you got black Americans, 47 million of them, completely pathetic and washed out. Totally disrespected. So when you talk about the playing factor to the culture, how are you playing a factor to the culture? And I say, when you don't do objective analyzing before you make a judgment, that plays a factor to the society that's completely self-mutilated and self-mutilation. And I'll give an example. I say the best plan we could ever do to help people economically, because if everybody care about leveling up in a level up culture, you got to tell people, hey, you got to get an understanding of something that you can somewhat see how to achieve. And so I tell people, try your best day to day to make $30 to $75 an hour. That allows for you to make $300 to $600 a day. Your household. If you could do that in your household, $300 to $600 a day, $37 to $75 an hour. If you could do that, that'll fight crazy stuff that people are doing in the judicial branch and the senators and the congressmen and presidents and mayors and governors and city council members, and any kind of issues economically that you might have with rates raises or rate lowering or evolution of process of purchasing gas to electric, whatever. You'll be able to answer most of the situations that come to your doorstep. You'll be able to kind of take them on pretty decently and stable. I think that is a more likely possible formula that people need to I'm saying majority, everybody in America that are Americans should be able to kind of adopt that. Don't be ashamed to do 2 Popeye's chicken jobs. Don't be ashamed to do 2 McDonald's jobs. Don't be ashamed to do a garbage man and do something, a DoorDash. Don't be ashamed to do multiple things to try your best to find a way to do $37 to $75 an hour, $300 to $600 a day. That's going to help you a lot battle all the dangerous backstabbing, psychological manipulation, and complete mind warfare that social influencers, podcasters, politicians, news media, movie stars, musicians, and all the high elites, what they are attacking the average person with. You'll be able to counteract that if you're able to somehow find a way to make that figure of money, $300 to $600 a day, $37 to $75 an hour. And that's what I feel. You got to be extremely objective in analyzing it. You cannot tell a person that you should be ashamed of yourself and you should never be able to wed or marry or have kids or have a family or have people that respect you and show you some honor and ethics and integrity and loyalty if you make under $100,000. You can't tell people that. You can't say that's the thing. And if you want to be barbaric and say, yeah, well, that's just the game. That's just the way the life is. Welcome to life. Life is, everything is on the table then. We all just got to survive. But also in understanding what's wrong with our heads and why we're tricked, why we're self-defeating. It's because you got people saying one thing to you. In a way, they're saying the truth, but it's covered up in, oh, but you got to be nice. You got to be gentle. You got to be respectful. You got to be God-fearing. You got to be Jesus walking. You got to be doing it. Then everybody else, the people that's telling you this stuff, they barbaric and stone cold and black and white and just relentless about the outcome. And they want you to be passive. No, you got to be aggressive. Get that $37, $75 an hour, $300, $600 a day. Be relentless and aggressive to be that. Be self-centered, be selfish. Be completely dogmatic to get it. And you'll help your household. You'll help the people closest to you if you do it. Okay? So let's go back to the conversation.
Not the ones I listen to. I think it depends on what you are entertained by, because there's so many podcasts now. So me personally, no, but that I'm intentional about which ones I listen to.
The only kind I
But
listen
there's some low vibrational ones out there for sure. We can't say it's not.
Mhm. The only ones I listen to is true crime. I'm all new to this podcast world. But the ones I do come across, it's nothing like up here. I'll never leave home. I don't know what I'll be running into.
I think it's a possibility, like everything else, depending on your algorithm. But I mostly watch, if it's not our shows, then I'm watching a Christian cast in Chicago Scene 88. Like it's three in there, like who murdering who. So people be snitching on themselves.
Well, why do y'all think that if you believe that it's the majority, why do y'all think that they only talk about low vibrational things or have low?
And Slimmy said money. No, these are the conversations y'all bringing up. Like how you why y'all acting like y'all don't have conversations about human behavior, and no matter how crazy it is or how controversial it is or how like Neanderthal it is or how wild it is or hood it is or astute it is, y'all talk about it. Everybody talk about it. So most of the conversation that people have, it's a generalization of all conversations. You can't just say, it's people having a low vibrational conversations. What are you talking about? Give an example of what you talking about. What low vibrational conversations are being had that's just pathetic and it's just low brawl and it's dumb people having conversations. What conversation is that? What are you talking about? You got it general. So so conversations that need to be had because they're more blunt and they're more like matter of fact and black and white conversations that might insult and be very harsh in to people in analyzation of situation. Podcasters and social influencers, they find favoritism or favor to what is favorable to them to say it is a low vibrational conversation or high vibrational conversation. But really, It's all depend on the context of the conversation. So what conversation is making you say, man, this is so pathetic, man. Oh, this is just crazy stuff. Are we talking about the Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels fight? Is that a low vibrational conversation to keep having? When black people are eating their own, they're making a ton of money off of the low tier, low economic people that are kind of getting inspiration. They're driving they're driving in their car. They're doing the stock. They're doing the storage room or stock in the warehouse and all that stuff on a forklift and everything like that. And they're listening to Anton Daniels. They're listening to Corey Holcomb. They're listening to Fresh and Fit while they're working. They're being productive while they're listening to this stuff. And also, and then you got maybe about I guess it's a 10% of the people that's kind of able to sit at their computer and text you guys or super chat you guys and all that stuff. But still, those people are paying money to do it. So they actually got some kind of economic structure and they're stable to do it day by day by day. So they not low vibration. They're functioning high, functioning productive people that are just in the midst of it. And you're hearing voices of the peasants.
Vibrational conversations.
People are messy. They like
That's the
drama
trick.
and negativity.
Phrasing it low vibrational is a misdirection con. It's a con of conversation. And I don't mean to go off on this and stuff. I want you guys to understand, I love Anton Daniels. I think he's awesome. I don't agree with a lot of shit he be saying and he's stuff, but I say where it counts and the majority of the stuff is absolutely the conversation that need to be had. It's the analyzation that need to be had. It's the training and the actual communication and blunt analyzation that should be had that he gives. So I'm telling you guys, I'm saying I always say you would never, ever, ever listen to my podcast. I don't know if I ever get attention to my podcast, but you'll never find and watch my podcast and see that I'm not in context, that I have to pull something because I contradicted myself or it didn't live up to scrutiny over time, and that like even a week past when I said it, I was found no context, or you were wrong, or no, I'm always right. I'm always saying that what should be said, and it will be upheld in context of what's been communicated and what was communicated, and I don't ever have to pull stuff. I'm telling you, Anton Daniels is pulling shit, cutting stuff that don't live up to scrutiny. Why? Because sometimes, that's why I say, it's cool to say objectivity and be objective. People learn those words and they say those words, but they don't live it. I say, I don't blame you. I'm finding out in my business and what I'm doing right now, man, you cannot be unmercifully objective. You're going to have enemies. You're going to have to make decisions that are not favorable, and it's brutal. It's brutal to walk people to why you're making the decision, or why would you make a decision, and why you will make this decision. Everybody just got their own preservation in mind. That's all they got. And that gets in the way of outcome when you're doing big goals. Regular life stuff, you don't ever have to deal with, like, is your decisions going to affect like a lot of people? You get what I'm saying? But when you start doing big stuff, your decision do affect that stuff. And to be objective is brutal. So I'm going to try my best. One of my things this year going forward is to not be so black and white in business. You know what I mean? Allow for a little finessing to go on. A little like, I'm lying to myself. I gotta stop. Cause I think black and white was always missing, truthfully. My blunt hardcore business acumen. Like I shouldn't even be talking to people if they ain't got enough liquid to talk. If they're not enough liquid to do or come up to the task, like I'll show an example. I had 2 years ago, man, I was going through the shit, man, because I just got through doing like 4 movies, and man, I gave my whole income and every economical dime I had, I put it into the projects because I was doing movies with people that they just, if I set the budget for $6,000, shit, took months for me to get that $6,000. And I'm in the production as we doing it, you know, and it's like aftermath, you get it. But by that time, things have just piled up and went completely ridiculous that it's irrelevant now, you know, and I'm end up putting tens of thousands into the movie that was only supposed to be $6,000, but I ended up putting so much more in it. I set a budget for $84,000 to do a movie. I'm talking about a high, ballsy, very proactive and very out of the box movie that should not be made in Detroit. You got to go to California. You got to go to Vancouver. You got to go to Atlanta. You got to go into New York to make something like that because the people understand it. They understand creating something out of nothing. People in the mid states and stuff, they just want to jump on a bandwagon, jump on a wheel that's already turning. They don't want to build from the ground up. They don't do that well. They don't take it well. So in the midst of this stuff, 2 years ago, because I was listening to Anton a couple years ago, and I started listening to him about a year prior to, or 2 years prior to. I said, man, dude, this guy lives in Detroit. He's very aggressive and very productive. You know what? I think, you know, I need like really good, stable investors, and I'll make hundreds of movies for the price of one. You get what I'm saying? But I gotta have somebody stable behind me. I can't be going to a producer or somebody and say, hey, look, man, it takes $10,000 to edit all this stuff up. I'm gonna need $20,000 to just make sure that I can isolate myself and edit up 4 to 6 movies. I gotta isolate myself for a while to do it. Man, it was like cutting off my arm and my leg to even just have the conversation. So I said, man, I gotta get somebody that got financial stable pockets. And what I'm asking for, I'm bringing a win-win situation. I did the movie. I paid for the movie. I paid for the equipment. I did all the stuff. I got the actors. I wrote the movies, and I knocked it out and got it done. You're coming in on the ass end of it. Most important thing to a movie is the presentation. How it fades in and how it fades out. And in between. You got to show unmerciful respect, integrity, and love to a movie in this presentation moment. And if you're trying to do some slap stack, look, you can go to Tubi all day, grab movies, and you can see good footage, good cast, good location, but shitty execution on the performance, on the edit, on all that stuff. Why? Because everybody thinks it's more important to edit the movie, to film the movie than to edit it. The presentation is everything. It's everything. It makes or break you. It puts your movie at collecting $1 million to $3 million in a span of 10 to 20 years, in collecting $1 million to $3 million within a year or 2 years. That's the difference between how you respect the presentation. So I say this. I say, you know what? I'm gonna write Anton. So I wrote him. I kind of presented the option to him what the packages was and what was going on and everything like that. And then he didn't take me up on the offer, and I'm always like, I don't mind people refusing to do stuff, but I will want the feedback to like what was the situation. And I think it was just like for him, he's too well known and he's too respectful, or he just knows the game of the actual industry, where he sees like it's a scam, it's a con, it's messy, and it's just too much dope money into the film industry locally. So when he partner up with people, these people got dope money doing this stuff, and he come in and he's intertwined with people, then he just didn't favor it. For him, it just looked like it wasn't just good. The Detroit filmmaking community is just not legit and respectful, and something that he wanted to even put his hands in. You know what I mean? So in that situation, which a lot of people that he had a talk show with a lady named Randy or something like that, and a lot of the actors that I deal with, they were on that show. So they were hiring the actors to be panelists, to be on those shows. You know what I'm saying? Because they actors. I know they was getting paid to do that. I know them actors. So, make a long story short, I'm like, you know what? I'll take that and I'll build myself from that and take it as something to improve myself, look at what the situation is and what it could have been and what it might have been, and improve myself on that. And if in this situation, because my economics was bad, I needed assistance. To balance my life, balance the roof on my head, and in addition to that, be able to pull off the production that I needed to pull off. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm the doer, you know. So, but I understood, you know what I mean. And when he kind of didn't do it, he refused to do it. I mean, he just didn't take me up on the offer. I kind of went isolated, and I said, wow, man. And I went to a few people that's doing real fucking good. You get what I'm saying? And I said, man, yeah, man, they think I'm begging. For some reason, they think like I'm thinking my leverage is I'm not asking you to fund me to go out and make these movies. I already wrote it. I already cast it. I already shot it. You get what I'm saying? And for me, I'm shooting my movies with the same stuff that they use for Mission Impossible. So my footage, the quality, how the footage can play on 4K TVs and the cinema theaters, it's all how I process it. It's all how I present it in the actual edit, in the presentation. That I give off that feel of a cinematic situation. Even if it's low budget, it's all depends how you framing and what you're doing. So in that situation, it was a win-win. And when I seen that he didn't pick up on it, I said, man, I got to take that in, and I got to understand that I'm going to have to bring this thing home. I'm going to have to bring all 6 of these movies home. So I knew even when I was out there shooting, I kept shooting movies, and like even when we were done, we were so broken, so destitute. I'm like, man, let me go do something else and just make a few movies. And then when I'm done with making a few movies, I'll isolate myself for a couple years. I'll edit the shit out of these things, do special effects, do music, do everything that makes it really cinema, and do it. I'll take that isolated for a couple years, and I'll get it done. Any means necessary. If I gotta eat off myself, if I gotta bust my ass and work so I can take care of the roof of my head, my life, have a Thanksgiving. I haven't had a Thanksgiving, and this was the first Thanksgiving I had in 2025, and since 2018. It's the first Thanksgiving that I said, yeah, we good. I see us, we out of this. You get what I'm saying? But I mention that because as they talk about low vibrational and the judgment of people and all the stuff like that, and making a judgment of who's watching this and who's like analyzing the shows and all that stuff like that, like, dude, you gotta interview. You get what I'm saying? When people communicate to you, when people say something to you, it's for them to put themselves out there and for you to interview them. You get what I'm saying? Meaning that if there's some preconceived psychological situation that's going on in your head, it's a duty, if you're analyzing somebody or you're interviewing somebody to interview them. People can give you a resume, but if the resume looks like, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff, man. Look, I've been busting my ass. If I was to show you guys what my resume is, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I have evidence. I knock all that shit out. I know how to do all that stuff. 10,000 or hundreds of more. And the reason why I say that, I'm sorry, that made me cracking up. I got 10,000 or more. Is when everybody give their resume. It's because you asked for a resume. You're taking in resumes, so we got to tell you everything we know how to do. I tried to be objective. I tried to take out stuff I did. I literally do that. I take out stuff I accomplished, things I've done, because it's like this a lot. And I don't want people thinking that I'm just throwing stuff on there. No, that's me. That's me. I'm that crazy. I don't sleep. I'm relentless about what I got to do, what task I got to take care of. So you got to interview a person. If something seems like, oh, let me see what this guy knows he's talking about. I articulate stuff where even if you see how I write the paragraph or how I explain something, you'll see my terminology and what I'm saying is technically accurate. But if that's over your head or something that is too wonky or too much details of the technical stuff, because people always tell me there's people don't care about you saying all the technical stuff that goes right over their head. They think you're trying to con them and stuff. I talk about technical stuff because I think I was under the illusion if I walk you through how to do A to Z and how you actually do a actual item task, that lets you know I'm not full of shit. But to people, it means like, well, if you're that good, why you need me? Every company needs investors. They need board members. Apple has Google, Kellogg's, Coca-Cola giving them money to be able to manufacture and do their prototypes and all the other stuff to put things into production. The billionaires and millionaires feed the company stable operation costs so that it can flow, it can be employed, it could head to the task. A restaurant, you open up a restaurant needs operation costs. That's why when a person open up a restaurant, they got to have $250,000 to $500,000 because they got to pay for people for about 3 months to 6 months until the revenue kicks in to take over the expenses. But you got to have that upstart flow. And that's what it is with doing film or anything. You got to have people that's in. You don't have to give up all the money, but I need to know that you're financially stable in your companies and what you're doing in your life. But that when you come in and you feed a movie, you're consistent. If a movie costs $6,000, you need to have 18 grand in order to make sure you see it through. Because anything that pops up, you can answer it. You can bitch and moan about it. Get in my office. Explain to me why you need another $6,000. You can bitch and moan like that, but have it. If a movie costs $100,000, have 300 grand. You can bitch and moan why it costs, why you're going over $100,000 over budget, but you better have it. See it through as a person that's supposed to have the answers. That's what an executive producer is. Everybody stop calling yourself executive producer or producer. They are people that solve all problems. All problems. And they don't do it the time of. It's well in advance thought of and executed on. And the only reason why I say that is because as we analyze the people that are giving their time, their energy to us and monetizing, when everybody put a viewer, when they switch their viewership to Anton Daniels or whatever his platform is or anybody else's platform, that person is giving you, it's generating money. If you don't see it, YouTube sees it. You get what I'm saying? Somebody seeing it every second, every minute the time clock ticks is money that's generated. Now, if you don't see it, it don't mean that it wasn't made. It just means that you not the hub. You not the house. The house got the money. So I just wanted to say that, and let's get back to this. I'm so sorry. I think I carried on with my philosophical rants for about an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, let's go.
That's why they try to say weird stuff about us. Like it's something that entertains their brain cells. I don't know.
It's a frequency. That's what frequency they're at, So
I don't
that's just where
mind
they are.
I don't mind, like somebody said, DMP conversations, dick and pussy, right? I don't mind those. I don't mind it at all. I just think that it needs.
See what I'm saying? Dick and pussy conversation. DMP conversation. DMP. I swear to God, this is ridiculous. Not Anton, but just the terminologies that we use, and we're trying to say that we don't contribute to the degeneracy culture. Well, I don't mind about having dick and pussy conversations and stuff like that, but it's like, are you having those conversations on true objective analysis? I'm gonna say this because I might forget it. I know, and I'm gonna go back to this. Women that are what everybody feel like they're top of the food chain in looks or like birthing or whatever the situation is, they may feel like I only get the man that's high performing and high figures and all that other stuff. That's okay, Danny. Go. I don't care. I don't got time to even analyze it. Men and women belong together. Okay? Your superpower is the collaboration. For some reason, somehow, if you don't believe the Adam and Eve story and all that stuff like that, no matter what, that same psychosis, the same behavior, the same analyzation of that scenario of Adam and Eve is playing out right now. To this day, the beginning of man to this day, the theory of it to what the factual interactions are today. It is bad. It's bad. I'm guilty of this too. It is bad that we have subverted direction in conversation or evaluation with women or to women. That's not a place for women to analyze what should happen and how it should happen. But we are fully integrated into it. So at the least, we need to have some common sense to men and women that they are there to battle everyone outside their relationship for their survival. Those two people that come together, those two people that finds like devotion to each other. Because everybody want to make it like it's like the court proceeding or the documentation of a marriage vows to the city council or to the records of the city or something like that, or is some institution church that validates their marriage. Your marriage is validated on, are you united? Are you giving yourself to these opposite people? Are you conjoining and have made a decision to conjoin, and you're good as married? Okay? Yeah, you could do more and all that stuff. I'm not saying you can't and you shouldn't. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be black and white to outcome, then you got to understand that. Now, yes, maybe you're able to strong arm and be totally like, because there's a toxic relationship getting into modern day relationships with women, and they want you to be bulldog, and they get more submissive the more asshole you are. So maybe that's the way it is forever. But we all have done a disservice by subverting or collaborating of what is to get done in this world and how to get it done with women. But now that we're here, we cannot put that toothpaste back in the tube. You gotta have the conversation open and honest. You know, and would you tell this to a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old? No, you gotta tell it to a 30, 40, 50-year-old. Because they're the ones who's having the drama. They're the ones who's just like throwing grenades in the room. And they're in the room. So it's catastrophic. I don't think you can repair it. But to analyze people as if they don't play a factor to it is ridiculous.
To be mixed up.
Yeah.
I think you have to realize, like, most.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about the commercials.
Cool. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Quinn.
Most people in life is like less than, and they don't have the capacity to think like most people are just saying. I wouldn't saying shit. It's just like what, like I think they said like 75% of like people read at like a 6th grade level, like humans. Period.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So they don't even have the capacity.
Yeah, and that's a good point that Q brings up. But why is it like that? Why is it like that? It's like that because more people are being like jumping into the ocean of responsibility, or to somewhat fight as much as possible the responsibility that's in front of them. And they jump in that early. Like they jump in it in a middle school. The weight gets on them to help with the house and to help with the bills and all that stuff like that. And then in high school and all that stuff, they get thrown right into the real world, analyzing behavior of adults, situations of adults, contributing, collaborating with the situation of adults. They get thrown into that immediately. And then when you get into a repetition of doing it and you see that, oh, it's a little piece when I go out and bring some money home, when I go out and do something productive and I'm looked at as a man and responsible or whatever, or I'm taking care of myself as a woman or a guy, I'm taking care of myself and all that other stuff. That becomes such a addiction that you don't retract yourself back into collecting and ingesting information and knowledge and understanding. Most people are like 6th grade level education because they had to fucking fight this world too early, and it became the majority of people fighting too early in their life. They was not allowed to ingest, but maybe that's how it was back in the days, back in the Roman days, back in the King England days and the King Henry days and stuff. Maybe it was like that always, that everybody had to go out and clean the pig pen out and all that stuff to the villagers and the peasants and all that stuff, that the family had to work the farm and all that stuff like that. It was never this luxury sitting in a class and learning for 8 hours a day and then you graduate and all this other stupid shit. It was never like that. Never the structure of humanity to be like that everybody's kind of falling back into the primal state. Maybe that's what it is. It got so wild and degenerate and destructive that people are subconsciously, psychologically, in our behavior and our business and the way we do business, conducting trade, the commerce, the barter trade with each other. We going right back to primal instincts. We're going right back to killing bears and killing wolves and shedding off their skin and their fur and selling it to each other as a barter trade. Maybe that's the problem. It's like we went back to primal, so all this high intellectual shit, this pompous shit, it's bad because everybody not able to have the luxury of to even adjust to it and grab onto it.
Capacity to have anything more than that kind of conversation. So
you don't have the capacity. You too busy. Hear that? That's
You don't have the capacity. You're too busy. That was a comment that he said to Corey Holcomb. But remember how they just laughed. Okay,
that was the first shot. If you want to be, like most people are just saying, I wasn't saying shit. It's just like what, like I think they said like 75% of like people read at like a 6th grade level, like humans, period.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So they don't even have the capacity to have anything more than that kind of conversation. So
you don't have the capacity. You too busy.
Wow.
That was the first shot.
No.
Now Anton don't feel that it was the first shot because he didn't mean nothing by it, but that's how his boy Slimmy perceived it. He seen it. He perceived that as a shot. So Corey's wrong for perceiving it as a shot. You get what I'm saying? If that's what you said, that if he seen it in a negative light.
No. There was no ill will and intention. There was no ill will and intention in that.
If you're a liberal,
that showed me. No, it wasn't. That showed me that most people only hear what they want to hear, even if they heard the full.
Are you talking about Slimmy? Is Slimmy only hearing what he heard and what he want to hear? Because he the one who brought it up. And he brought it in the context of saying it that in an insult.
Context.
But
I never broke it
you're
up.
talking to a liberal.
I never broke it up. I said you don't have the capacity because you're too busy. Meaning that most
what did
people
you say exactly after that?
Too much. Let me say why. Most people only watch clips.
Yes.
They don't watch the full live streams. They don't see all of the stuff. And a lot of times the only
Well, you're talking about Slimmy don't watch the clips. I mean, to watch the full thing, and he only watch clips. See, you can't give an example of how the media, the low vibration viewers, and the spectator audience are perceiving it, and your panelists. Slimmy perceived it as an insult. That's why he said it like that. And then Q is saying, well, it's an insult to a person that's a liberal. I don't know the context of that, but Slimmy seen it as an insult, and he used it in the phrasing that you used it at. And you laughed at it until Q tried to emphasize that's a shot. That was the first shot.
things that go viral is the things that people share or that they're offended by. So if you're not watching the majority of my content or you don't tune into my live streams, there's no way, because it's no way. Most people say, man, I only catch this or only catch that. So some people only watch clips, some people tune in for the live streams, and then other people watch the shorts, right? There's no way you can tell me if you're telling me that I only talk about black people, I know that you're capping and that you don't watch it because.
And Corey Holcomb is crazy with this. And I don't understand why people get so locked into this race war situation. And we are so, white people don't have to do nothing to black people. We are our own worst enemy. We are You got the Black Caucus passing laws and funding illegal immigrants and all kind of stuff to destroy the prosperity and the growth of economic growth of black people on a day-to-day basis. We are wiping out ourselves really good. I tell you guys again, I hate people trying to look at ICE and the cops and law enforcement. It's a fraction of 1% that ever is dealing with that situation. Ever. A fraction of 1%. Do you guys understand the real factual data that can actually have, that they have records on, and that can actually be tracked down data-wise? Every 9 seconds, a person lives and another person dies. Every 9 seconds, we can track that. That's something that we actually can track. Every 9 seconds in America too, a person dies and a person lives. Every 9 seconds, a person is born and a person dies. Another person dies. Okay? If that's true, and I'm telling you that can be tracked, if that's true, then we're disrespectful to ourselves, how we conduct ourselves in our lives. And now we know as black people, even in business, we are terrible to each other. Terrible. Give a nickel, but you want $1,000 back.
That's just fundamentally not true. It's not true at all. So I know you don't have the capacity to watch everything because I drop too much content, first of all, for you to watch everything, and you making that assessment. And I never said that you didn't have like the intellectual capacity. I said that you don't have the capacity because you're too busy. I never said that was not. I don't know how people took that as a shot.
Ask Slimmy. How you take that as a shot, Slimmy?
That wasn't.
Stop eating.
A shot.
Hear what they want to hear. Like you gotta think.
I took a lot of shots. That one wasn't a shot. I will admit when I'm shooting a shot. That one was not a shot.
But it's gonna sound like one, because what it's gonna sound like is, oh, I can't think enough to keep up. And by saying you're too busy, he probably didn't even take it as in too busy, as in you work too much, too busy as in talking too much.
But
like as in like talking like as in the moment that we're having this conversation.
How was it a shot to his intelligence to tell somebody you don't have the capacity because you're too busy?
Stop arguing with the chat. Argue with Slimmy. He just told you that's how he perceived it. That's how he perceived that Corey perceived it. That's what Slimmy just said. Slimmy just telling you that it can be perceived as you think that he's talking too much, so he's too busy with his mouth to catch up. So don't talk to Slimmy. Don't talk to Mr. J8553831.
It wasn't.
He was already offended.
You was on on a machine gun because you threw an immediate shot after that one and told that nigga he was talking too much, but he wasn't saying nothing. I was like, God damn.
No. That was a shot.
You were like,
you said the first shot. You said the first shot was. I said that he don't have the capacity because he's too busy. That's not a shot.
To a liberal nigga, you gutting that nigga because his mind stay up. You stabbed that nigga in the stomach,
bro.
nigga.
That's not a shot. I'm never gonna agree with that. That's not even a remotely a shot, in my opinion.
Well, I got objectively, you're saying that it's not a shot and you made the comment. We got to go more to you, how you perceived it, because you made the comment. I'm saying the other equation of the situation is your panelist, and let's say Slimmy, that's supposed to be out of the pocket, and he's looking at what he perceived that happened and how it was taken. He said that he felt like it was a shot of him. You telling him that he's talking too much. That's why he can't. That's why he can't listen and comprehend what's been spoken, because he's talking too much and he's too busy with his mouth. That's what your panelist said. So I'm not equating that as a win. I got to take how you perceived it to be the truth, because that's what you're the one who said the comment, and we got to go to what you're saying it as you are able to communicate it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a shot. It's not going to be a shot. Like if
we had this conversation on
if you think about the context that you're saying now, but in the heat of battle, a motherfucker just going to hear, oh, you think I don't think.
See, he just said it again. A person would think in the heat of battle, when you say something like that you said, he's telling you that it was a shot to his intelligence, a shot to his brain capacity to ingest what you're communicating. Your own panelist is rebutting what you're saying.
You just
rebuttal.
I could tell that's what he thought about how he reacted.
Because his face said,
oh, he's telling that to himself.
I hope I come in clear, because
listen,
your own panelist is rebutting to you. Say, I got to not sit back like that, because it pop and it won't come in clear. And I'm sorry about that, guys. But your own panelist is telling you that's how it would be perceived. That a person in the heat of battle, that's what he heard. So don't talk about the chat. Don't talk about the low vibrational people. This is your panel. Or at least one of the guys you hold high esteem. You hold high on your panel. You know, and Q kind of saying it too. It was a shot. That's how they perceived it. You're saying it wasn't, so they need to kind of conjoin to what you're saying, but they're arguing the point that could be that it would not be wrong for him to perceive it as a shot.
I can't control if you get offended on shit that's not even offensive. That just means that you're looking to get offended, in my opinion.
You looking for something because you already have a preconceived notion
anything
about a
can
person.
be perceived as negative to you if you're looking at the very little thing like that as a shot. Like, that's not even a shot.
well, I can say this, like even saying you suck blah wasn't a shot. It was like he said you pandered by kissing ass. You say he pandered by sucking dick. It was like equivalent.
Yeah, but I'm gonna turn it up a notch.
Well, the word you use, but pander instead of ass and dick is pretty much what y'all were both saying.
You can't control if you shoot one and I pull out a switch, nigga, you still shot at me.
No, Corey knew what he was doing right there. That's where
you can't pull out a gun and say, but you gotta come out with the exact same gun that the other nigga shot at. No, nigga, I'm gonna throw a bazooka. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna sit here and try to equal you. No, I'm gonna best you.
They thought you was time on
I
phone
don't see that
time.
niggas can say that I'm supposed to throttle myself based off of how I get disrespected.
He's right. You can respond however you want to respond. I don't blame you. I don't blame him, Anton. You do what you got to do. The problem is, and the reason why I'm playing this is in context. By doing this, and by stating that, and then by going on all, like I'm telling you, Anton said he was not going to go on anybody's show unless he's there in person. He's not going to do any more Zoom because he don't want to be muted, and he don't want to like not be able to communicate the way that he fairly, like he feel like he should. So he's going on panels. Man, after he got off, I think I already said this already, but after he got off of that panel with Corey, maybe the next day or so, man, he was everywhere, Zoomed and conferenced in and StreamYard in or whatever, LinkedIn, or whatever it was. He was everywhere. A lot of places doing podcasting and giving a bird's eye view on it. He went extreme viral on YouTube. That's why I'm talking about it. It is a vital conversation. Okay. Problem what it is Corey Holcomb, he wasn't doing none of the shots. He was just kind of doing his thing, or if he was taking shots, I didn't find it yet. But man, it's like by the time he gets back on his show the following Tuesday, a couple days ago, he let him have it, and he brought some receipts, and he went low, dirty and low. So it was so bad that we gotta discuss it on my podcast, because it's a full objective analyzation of these two personalities, what they stand for, and what should be taken out of the message. What's the meat and what's the bones of this situation, into giving an individual perspective analysis on it, where you're extremely objective. You got to be extremely objective. That gives you information, lets you understand what's informative here and what's just noise. Okay? So let's get back to it.
I will say this, though. People are going to talk about that instance more than anything. Now, you had a real, out of all the serious debates you had, the internet will feed into that more, because the internet is based off negativity. Going with the question that you asked, everything on the internet, man, this shit is just entrenched in negativity, all low vibrational vibes. This is just what the internet is. I don't know how it got like that, but it could be why it was created in the first place.
Let me tell you something, and this is why I said I studied him. He never came at, because I didn't disrespect first. He didn't come at Rizza Islam with that type of energy. He didn't come at Tariq Nasheed with that type of energy. It was all laughs, giggle, hee, haw, haw. It was no turning up on nobody. So the fact that he felt comfortable turning up on me warranted a different type of energy. He picks and chooses his targets, and so he felt comfortable doing that.
He felt comfortable because he didn't respect you.
Correct. So the disrespect was already there. And I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining. I'm not the one that's I feel like I came out like roses.
Oh?
I think it's because probably Rizza Islam and Tariq Nasheed, they probably have more sentiments closely aligned to what he believes.
Sorry about
Just
that, guys.
What he said. I don't really.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I want to go back to that point.
It was all laughs, giggle, hee, haw.
The internet will feed into that more, because the internet is based off negativity. Going with the question that you asked, everything on the internet, man, this shit is just entrenched in negativity, all low vibrational vibes. This is just what the internet is. I don't know how it got like that, but it could be why it was created in the first place.
Let me tell you something, and this is why I said I studied him. He never came at, because I didn't disrespect first. He didn't come at Rizza Islam with that type of energy. He didn't come at Tariq Nasheed with that type of energy. It was all.
Yeah, but you called him out for it's like his he kind of like do who he feels like he want to come at like that. Most of those people pretty much sound like him. You know what I mean? Like FBA and all that crazy stuff. So of course he wasn't going to be coming at them. And I think I heard Mika say that he didn't respect him.
Laughs, giggle, hee, haw, haw. It was no turning up on nobody. So the fact that he felt comfortable turning up on me warranted a different type of energy.
I agree.
He picks and chooses his targets, and so he felt comfortable doing that.
He felt comfortable because he didn't respect you.
Correct. So the disrespect was already there. And I'm okay with that.
Me? I know it.
I'm not complaining.
That's so funny.
I'm not the one that's complaining. I feel.
Keep in mind that Mika just said that about he didn't mind turning up on Anton because he didn't respect her. She interjected that in there to say that this guy was disrespectful to you because he didn't respect you, and he decided to cause a lot of drama because he didn't respect you. So he's sizing you up and he didn't respect you. So so obviously her response should be that she don't respect Corey Holcomb for pulling that kind of stuff on Anton. Pretty much her producer, her manager, the guy that's pretty much gonna fund her into what she's doing. I guess that's what he was saying, because he said he signed her to manage her and all that stuff. So he's the one who put money behind her to do what she need to do to kind of inflate herself, or pretty much level herself up in the podcast world or media, whatever the hell she's doing. And she just said, "Hey, he didn't give you. He decided to bring all that drama because he didn't respect you from jump." Remember that she said that, okay?
I came out. I feel like I came out like roses.
Yeah, remember that too. He feels like all this crazy stuff and interacting with these stuff and going on all these podcasts and saying his point of view and doing all this kind of stuff. This is a good thing for him because it's always a viral sensation. And he punked out Corey Holcomb too. See, the problem is when you get into the pig pen, like what they say when you start rolling around with the pigs. Don't get pissed if you got shit and mud on you. You the one rolling around it. They're used to it. The pig is used to rolling around in mud and shit. But if you go in there playing and wrestling with the pigs, and now you upset that you got mud and shit on you, that's ridiculous. All this crazy degenerate stuff going, like all this, you think this is fun because you're going viral. You're making a lot of money, I'm pretty sure.
Like that. But it could be why it was created in the first place.
Let me tell you something. And this is why I said I studied him. He never came at, because I didn't disrespect first. He didn't come at Rizza Islam with that type of energy. He didn't come at Tariq Nasheed with that type of energy. It was all laughs, giggle, hee, haw, haw. It was no turning up on nobody. So the fact that he felt comfortable turning up on me warranted a different type of energy. He picks and chooses his targets, and so he felt comfortable doing that.
He felt comfortable because he didn't respect you.
Correct. So the disrespect was already there.
And this was like 5 days ago. What was that?
I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining.
5 days ago. What was that? I don't think it was Saturday. I really don't. Did they do a show on Saturday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be Saturday. Saturday morning. So it must have been when they was kind of going so late in the midnight or something. So maybe that's what it was. So maybe Saturday morning, but Friday night. That's what this was. Friday night last week. Friday night the 16th, going into the 17th.
I'm not the one that's. I feel like I came out like roses.
Oh,
I think
This.
I think it's because probably Rizza Islam and Tariq Nasheed, they probably have more sentiments closely aligned to what he believes. Just hearing from what he said, I don't really know him for what he talks about. Honestly, I just know him for comedy.
no,
Molly
RZA.
We're gonna go to the next clip in a second, okay? Just want to see.
Molly Ball says, you seem ready for war as well from the start. Nigga, because he told me to be ready for war when we had a conversation on the phone. He told me he coming with the smoke. He warned me. What am I supposed to do? Go in there like a sheep, with goat eyes that I can't see shit? He told me that on the phone. Why wouldn't I be prepared? What the fuck you want me to do? You want me to go in there like a civilian? No, nigga, I'm going in there like I'm geared up. Y'all niggas is wild. Maybe y'all just walk into a unfamiliar territory like golded eyes.
Okay. So he's kind of talking to the chat and stuff, and I guess the question is premise for the chat and everything like that. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna go to. You gotta watch the previous episodes. I go over everything with you guys. I even walk through even Mika's stuff. But I'm gonna bring Mika's situation back up because I want you guys to keep it in context. Okay? I said in that podcast, man, I did on. When did I do that podcast? I can't remember. Maybe Tuesday, I think I did it. I think I did it on Tuesday. And when she came out, I said, Mika, you don't want to send a message out. You don't want to put yourself on Front Street because now everybody going to know who you are. They're going to be able to clip you who you are. Now your podcast is going to get some ratings. You're going to get some views, but also people are going to be able to articulate the situation a little bit more detail. So now Corey, he sees you send a message to him. But look, I'm gonna recap with the message that Mika has.
Different sets, okay? However, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into also a lot of the nonsense that's happening out in Minnesota, plus more. All right. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me for that. Now, of course, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start the show, I want to go ahead and address the whole Corey Holcomb situation. All right. The whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told that I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited.
Meaning that Anton told her that she was going on the 5150 show 2 weeks ago before prior to them going on the show. So he got the pull, he got the respect, and he was going to make sure that she got on the show, that she's on the show with him and stuff, and there would be no problem with getting him on the show. That he preemptively told her she'll be on the show. So she's saying, "Hey, he told me I was going to be on the show." That's what was told to me.
Now, of course, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start the show, I want to go ahead and address the whole Corey Holcomb situation. All right. The whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told that I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited. All right. I was excited about going on the 5150 show. Last Tuesday, I got on the plane to go from DC to LA.
Saying that, so Tuesday, she jumped on a plane. She traveled there. She got from the airport to wherever Anton was at. Anton got, and they immediately drove to the set so she could be on the show. So it's literally like boom, 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 tight, like everything is just tight time span. She's like, you know, I ain't stay over there. I wasn't messing around with him. I didn't do anything. We ain't got no relationship. It's all undertone conversations going on here. Yes, that's my speculation. That's my individual perspective, what was saying. But pay attention to what she's saying overall, and you'll hear it.
I got to the 5150 studios at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I met Corey Holcomb. I was introduced to him. He shook my hand. Then about, I want to say 5 minutes before the actual show started, I was told I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool.
Disappointing. She was just told 5 minutes before they was to air. They go on air. She can't go on the show. Because obviously, Corey Holcomb walked in and they talk about she going on the show. You're like, oh, the fuck is she? What want the girl on the show for? Who is she? You get what I'm saying? I mean, that's how he's responding to it. And if you watch the previous episodes that I did, you can watch all these series together. I think this is about to be the fourth one that I'm doing.
Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera.
Off camera. She could sit off camera. So that table that they were at and they were arguing with each other is actually pretty big or something. And I guess they got where that you could see a camera could be on multiple people. In addition to the camera being on multiple people, you could have mics with them and stuff. And they just cut off that side of the actual audience. And they let her sit at the table. So when they was having that argument, she was right pretty much there at the table. That's what she's saying. So they said you can sit at the table, but you're gonna be off camera. There's no reason for us to put you on TV because we don't know who you are. People don't know who you are, and there's no point of having you on the show.
So I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool. Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera.
Off camera.
I said, okay, cool. And that's where I sat for the entire duration of the show. Now, the show starts. And as you know, what happened, because it went viral. All right. So if you guys want to see all of that, you can go watch it. It's everywhere.
You watch my couple episodes, I line it up, so you'll see it.
All right. But with all that being said, as that's going on, when it becomes abundantly clear that it's time to go, myself and security go ahead and start to leave. When I get to the door, as I'm going out, I hear Corey Holcomb say, yeah, leave with your security and your bitch. And I'm not going to lie. I was shocked.
Yeah, and this is Mika. She knows the game, and she been around Anton as like his arm candy. She goes to the basketball game with him and stuff like that, and he shows it on his platform. I don't know why they show that stuff and present that stuff. If you go into the basketball game and you want to like have other billionaires or something, whoever's on the floor court, kind of see you and present you as somebody of like, who's that guy? You know, you use her because women do a good job by bringing men into certain rooms that they can kind of network with and all the other stuff. So it's okay. I'm just saying, if that ain't got nothing to do with your podcast or your exterior show, why would you talk about that where it becomes part of the conversations with your actual podcast? So we know part of the equation of evaluating Mika and Anton Mika on this and Corey Holcomb situation is to equate, like, why is she so surprised that Corey Holcomb say, whoever this bitch is, she ain't your wife. I know your wife. I seen your wife. I done enough research. I done enough respect for your wife. This ain't your wife. Who is this bitch? And why is she trying to be on the show? Why is she trying to be on the show? I don't know why this bitch is trying to be on the show. I'm not calling you a bitch, Mika. I'm saying that's in the mindset of Corey Holcomb and how he looked at you, how he evaluated you. He's evaluated you as a side piece, a side bitch. But also, you're giving off that persona because it's good for people to like, oh, is Mika available or is she not available? Is she available or not available? And it's maybe some regenerating revenue in just not knowing. So you keep that illusion up or premise up to men attraction to you or whatever, and it becomes part of the culture of the Anton Daniels. So now people like you, Corey, is like, who's the bitch, man? You get what I'm saying? And because he's been, I'm pretty sure you've seen him. You said you're a fan of his. So you know his terminology to women. So of course he's like, I don't even know this woman. So what is she upset about? What is she floored about? I think she's floored, and this is my assumption, this is my perception. She's floored that prior to getting there, Anton didn't have a detailed conversation about her with Corey. And she walked into that. So now she got to take it upon herself to, like, give respect back to her character, herself, by going on the record herself in the way that she wants to go on record. And that's why she did this comment.
And your bitch. And I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. Because it's very unfortunate that I would be called the B word. Because I had such a positive outlook and a positive take on 5150 and Corey Holcomb. Last year here in DC, I literally went to a Corey Holcomb show. So when I found out I was going on 5150, I was like, oh, this is exciting because I just went to see a show. And now I'm having this experience. So it was.
So she's disappointed because why am I having this spirit? Why did he feel that way about me? Why is he calling me out my name? Why he got that kind of venomous to me, Anton? Why? What did you not do right? What did you not set up right? What did you not conversate right? Just look, it's my assumption, it's my perspective, but that's what she's saying.
Very unfortunate. So it was very unfortunate. Not only that, I hear explain the bitch and this bitch on my show.
Right. Meaning that she's like, why is he asking you to explain the bitch? I told you to, and you hear him say that. I told you to explain the bitch. Explain, when you bring a bitch on my show, explain who the bitch is. Explain the bitch. Why she trying to be on my show? Why you want her on my show? She like, why is he saying why I want to be on your show? You didn't talk about me? You didn't set this up before we got here? You see? That's why she shouldn't even have made a comment. But she wants to carry favor or air out some clarity to Corey about what happened and what her involvement was and what her involvement was in it, that she's kind of trying to save face for herself, but it still wasn't valuable to Corey when you see in the next clip.
I don't know who she is.
See?
Alluding to the fact that I'm just here and it's somebody's side chick.
Right.
And I'm nobody's side chick.
And she wants to make clear. So all you hungry, drooling, like audience member that's always watching the Anton Daniels show, the Millionaire Morning Show, and you always watching like the After Hour show, and you always watching stuff, and you guys are thinking that this, like, I'm messing around with Anton and I'm his side piece and stuff like that. Like, what? Like, I ain't his side piece. But number one, I want you guys to get the message that's, she said, number one thing I want you guys to get the message with me kind of airing this out is he don't even know who I am, meaning that why this man don't know who I am? Why wasn't he communicated that I would be on the show? And why wasn't I packaged to be on the show with you? And coming in here is already set, and that the actual host know about me and everything. Why does he say he don't know me? So you got me here to present myself as like your side bitch. You got me here as under some premise to look good and like be your side bitch. This message is for Anton. That's why I said she should never did this. This is not good. I said it in the previous episode. This is not good. Okay? But I want y'all to pay attention.
Explain the bitch. And this bitch on my show. I don't know who she is. Alluding to the fact that I'm just here and it's somebody's side chick. And I'm nobody's side chick.
Did you address this, Anton? I mean, it's Thursday now. I don't know. I didn't watch Monday or Tuesday show and stuff like that. I'm still catching up. So that's why I'm like a couple days behind. And that's why I'll present this. Like, did you explain her going out there and like having these words about you to her audience? And having this video sensation moment where she's communicating she ain't nobody's side chick. If I am not married to him, I ain't his side chick.
It was very unfortunate and very hurtful. That I can tell you. That was my feeling from the experience. But with all that being said, I can say this. That's a lot been said. Some vulgar, disrespectful language, calling you a bitch and all that stuff. Explain the bitch. What you doing here, bitch? This bitch is crazy. Why she gonna try to be on my show? Well, nobody know this bitch. I ain't heard this bitch nothing. You know what I'm saying? Anton, why you got me here as just like some arm candy? It's some disrespect to my talent that you got me here as like your side bitch. You ain't even talk to this guy about me. You just got me here to be some arm candy. This is the conversation you subliminally, it's not really subliminally, it's in the context of what she's saying. It's really what that she's saying. But at the same time, I mean, what? You get what I'm saying? Don't have this conversation at Anton, because once you have it on the web, on the podcast circuit, once you have it out here, we have to analyze it. And the people that's giving stupid anti banter about it and hate podcasts about it, that ain't how you analyze it. You analyze it to what is the mind fuck y'all trying to do to your viewers. What games y'all playing? What disrespect, what contradictions of keeping it real, being honest and open and communicative to what's this circus that y'all got going on? Like I said, everybody should be respecting Mika and all the other women on that panel like they respect Carrie. She's off limits. Stop talking sex. Don't talk sex talk to her. Don't do any innuendo stuff to her. It's disrespectful to her husband that you conduct yourself like that. Even if it's monetizable in big wealthy ways, don't do it. That should be something that y'all should be dealing with. And for us, we have to equate that into the conversation, because you guys are in this conversation of saying what the real situation is, and that the situation bubbled at the top so crazy that you got to communicate what the real situation is. Now, it's a deep dive. And
And it wouldn't need to be a deep dive if you guys didn't have this misdirection, backhand persona and situation that you manipulating and just lying to your audience. It's stupid. It's not worth it.
Don't have anything negative to put out about Corey Holcomb or the 5150 show.
She don't have no negative. Like, that's some wild stuff.
I still don't have anything negative to put out about Corey Holcomb or the 5150 show.
Can I ask y'all a question? I know. I got to stop pausing it, but you can watch it, and I'm giving you context. That's what I'm doing. Why is she communicating she don't have any bad feelings or disrespect, and she got respect for Corey Holcomb still? Why? After all that, she said in the previous clip, "Oh, he didn't respect you. That's why he came at you like that. He just didn't respect you." Why you respecting him? Why are you having it all out? That was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and she did this on Tuesday. No, she did this on Monday. I'm sorry. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then she did this episode on Monday. Why, after those 3 days, after you was or like giving him confirmation that Corey Holcomb didn't respect him, and that's a person you respect, Anton Daniels is a person you truly respect, and that you in the camp of Anton Daniel because you signed the contract with him, that you part of the crew, you part of the actual talent and everything, so you took a side. Why are you on your podcast giving respect to Corey Holcomb? Even if you give some respect to him, you don't have to communicate it indefinite on your actual podcast, because that means you do not like the end results of this in a disrespect that you feel that he gave that Anton set you up, that made Corey Holcomb disrespect you. You want to right that right by coming out to say, "Hey, Corey, let me represent who I am and the value of me, so you'll understand what you should have already known. And I didn't know none of this stuff. I didn't know that you wasn't told about me and all that other stuff." Why are you on your show saying that? Why are you having respect to Corey Holcomb and want to have some kind of like neutral ground of respect with Corey Holcomb after he disrespected your boss, pretty much, your leader? And you're on here, you're taking a side, you're actually saying a lot of wild stuff. Did y'all talk about this Saturday, Sunday? Did you talk about it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? It's Thursday now. I'm going to see. I don't know. But this can't be good. This can't be good. So I'm telling you, it's wild stuff.
I went for a positive experience. I had a positive outlook on what could have been, but it didn't happen. And again, it's unfortunate that all that transpired afterwards. And I was caught in the crossfire between two grown people.
Two grown people. Two grown people meaning like two grown men acting like kids, acting like a child, doing something that I don't agree with that they were doing. So she's criticizing even Anton's behavior along with Corey Holcomb's behavior. Oh, she said a lot. Okay, a lot.
That were arguing back and forth with each other. So my outlook is this. I don't have any negative views on Corey. And like I said, it's unfortunate, but I forgive Corey.
Wow.
I truly do.
That's that Charlie Kirk thing.
But that was my experience. And I wish nothing but the best for Corey and the 5150 show.
That's wow. The next clip I'm about to show to you guys, this ain't good. Okay.
I just wanted to come on and really say my piece because I really hadn't said anything. Because everybody else was talking. So I wanted you guys to hear it from me.
Yeah, that's not good what you said.
And that was my experience.
It was better for you not to give you a piece.
That's all that really happened because it was a small time frame. So any other narrative is not what it was.
You're not his side bitch. You're not Anton side bitch.
This is exactly
wow.
what happened.
Wow.
And so
yeah,
that's
look,
all I really have to say about it.
Don't be angry at me. Don't be angry at me.
Because
I'm putting things in context for my audience and for people that want to understand what an individual perspective is. I understand you guys like, hey, go get some braces in your gap. Yeah, I understand that. But don't beat up on me. I'm just being objective in the analyzation of what's going on here. And when I get some time and I'm focused on whatever the hell, like luxury time, and I'm not busting my ass doing so much stuff, movies and everything like that, I'll sit around with some Invisaligns, okay? You know, I'll die with good teeth. How about that?
So you guys are going to get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. But that's my thoughts.
Okay. Now we go on to Corey after he comes back from a week of not being able to respond to all this stuff. And let's get to it. Okay.
Black people, do you claim black people?
I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first.
Black people, do you claim black people?
I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first.
Black people, do you claim black people?
You on air, man. Don't look at your phone.
Let me tell you something right now. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Yo, we on. Corey Holcomb 5150 show, and you already know Corey Holcomb, Darlene OG Ortiz, Craig Fax.
Hey, God.
Man, listen, y'all. We gonna talk a little shit about whatever the fuck for a little while, but we really got a show. We really got lives. We really be doing things. We ain't looking for no internet moment and trying to run with it and perpetrate and cap and all that sucker shit. We only talk about the facts. Now, hold on.
Okay. One, obviously you guys got money. You're spending a lot of money on your production room in there and all that stuff. Your production crew is completely idiotic. I will offer myself to you guys, and I can literally come in on the day of and do 10 times better than them in a minute. You know what I'm saying? One, tell them to expose properly that lamp, that leaf plant that you got overblown blue light on it to the right, to the far right. That lets me know, I don't know what they doing. They're not calibrating the cameras well. It looks good, but they're not calibrating it well because you got too much hot spot on your plant, and that's unnecessary. Okay, and also before the show comes on, the clip should have been taken care of. It's easy to have those clips on the side. That's the easy part. That can be done 2 hours, 3 hours before you even walk into the door. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, look, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm in Detroit. I'm on Anton turf. So,
What video is ready? Do y'all got the one with dude talking about dick sucking on somebody else's show? Play that. Just play that.
for women.
I don't know what that means to be
What's
gay
the
for women.
difference?
I don't know what it means to be
What's the
gay for women.
difference?
He has a point. He has a point. Okay, crashing out. Put your seatbelt on, I guess.
If you can explain that to me, then I can answer your
It
question.
means that you're the gay best friend.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well,
if I'm the gay best friend, that's fine.
So we can stop name calling and we can just get back to the subject.
You did
I didn't call your name. I said you had on a cake.
And I said you had on a gay.
What the does that mean? And for me to be gay, I have to a man. I've never a man.
I don't know that.
I don't know you haven't a man, nigga.
I would bet on you before me.
I'm retarded?
That's fine. That's fine. You.
All right. Anyway, I don't know if we saw the part where he did the same thing on somebody else's show with the dick sucker shit. Really? I don't know if we saw. He did, and then said, "You called me a name," and the dude didn't call him a name. I think this is a routine of that guy.
Yeah.
I think that I didn't do the research on that man to be prepared, or I wouldn't have even had him on because he was ass kissing on the phone.
Yeah.
Like dead ass. He wasn't. He got in touch with.
Oh, Corey, man, dude. That microphone setup y'all got where the microphone is going into a holster and then the holster is sitting on the actual stand. And if anybody moves it, it's unstable and you can hear the cord moving and the microphone is picking up the cord moving. That's not a good quality mic. And it's like, I know, and I don't care what none of y'all say. Corey is just a highly successful guy. He got millions, okay? He's making hundreds of thousands of dollars on the podcast alone, okay? They got a multi-million-dollar LCD screen right behind them. He got 2 high-end cell phones. He's on tour going to comedy shows all over the country, okay? The microphone he got is I think it's a Shure mic. I don't know. But it's a good mic he has. You know? So, like, but he could have a better mic, really. But I guess he decides he wants to hold his mic. But the other mics, you don't need to, like even doing it cheap, they can actually hold the mic and move it around and all kind of stuff, and you won't even hear none of that stuff. But they just, whoever their production crew is, they just don't know their shit. I mean, like, the basic stuff. That's why every time you hear him talking, you hear this cord moving, pop, 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 on the mic. That's cheap stuff. That's them moving the stand and moving the mic.
With somebody, and somebody gave me his number, and he was talking like he had some sense.
Right.
And when he came on here, he ran his routine that he's run a few times on people. And, you know, that's cool. But sex playing a man, can we just start out with that? There's cameras all over me. Have we missed a Tuesday, Darlene?
No.
Even when the city was burning down, we was up in this.
They had to tell us to get that.
Yeah, real shit.
Hey, man, listen, man. We ain't missed a Tuesday. Do you know if you fight on YouTube, they give you at least a 30-day suspension?
Right.
His plan
Is it like being married?
almost worked. His plan almost worked. Now, because we ain't got all day for this sucker-ass nigga. Because he'll never be in my face again. Everything he say is for the net. You got away, you got away with that. But listen, it was some people talking about somebody ain't a real nigga or a street nigga. What is the definition of a street nigga? I really want to know. Does anybody know what a street nigga is?
Yeah, I mean, it's a few. I mean, it's supposed to be a code of conduct in the streets. Like in Cali, the code of conduct is somebody call you out for a fair one. You're supposed to take the fair one. But that's bullshit, man. We got too much to lose,
But I
man.
hear where Corey's coming from though with that. You're right. It's like who's to say who's what? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Is it because you grew up in a neighborhood or were you affiliated with gang? Are you in a gang? I mean, what's the exact definition again? That's subjective, but
Yeah. Is it, here's the thing. I think people interpret, everybody interprets what we do differently, you know what I'm saying? Because who you are and what you represent, you stand on a lot of stuff, you say a lot of controversial stuff. So people who don't understand the intellectual capacity of your message, they equate it to something that they understand it at their level. So they think that when Corey is a fighter, he gonna fight whenever. It's like, nah, that ain't what this is about. This.
You see me fighting?
No, but that's how they process it.
it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't
Yeah, 'cause
thing all the time on the internet.
that's how they
Folks are always
process it.
gonna say something.
Like me, anytime I get angry, they say I'm being a tough guy or I'm trying to be hard, or they'll call me a bully. I am not no bully. I never bullied nobody. But if I raise my voice a little bit or get a little bit aggressive, they just take it in a way like that, I don't mean it. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you ain't cutting me off. I'm just trying to make sure, because I know what happened. Yeah. Now, this is what the internet has done. The internet has created an AI video where different outcomes and different ways it happened was shown. They've edited the truth. Do we have what happened? Yeah, I got the clip. Play that. Yeah, when you get ready, let me know. See, it's people who have edited the video to make the video look like he stood up to me and all. I was like, what is this? When I saw some of the edited videos, I was like, they cold with this AI, boy. This AI, I seen a video where I beat his ass.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's wild.
Oh yeah, and by the way, futon, my homie said, don't call that nigga that, call that nigga futon.
Oh.
Well, that's hilarious. Instead of saying his name.
Oh, futon. Okay.
Hey, futon, thanks for not beating me up, man. Thank you.
I call him the evil whining. That's ZZ whining. That's the only whining that can't sing. He beatboxing whining.
Thanks for not beating me up, man. I really appreciate you, man. Hey, I thought I would have videos ready when the show started, but that's not what happened. Ain't nothing I could do. So can we just play the one you sent me, Abe, where we'll just take the time out to do this one because I want people to have a copy of the video, how it really happened, and not the AI video that people are putting out there and making it seem like he showed man tendencies.
Yeah, I don't know about this AI video. I haven't seen it
already. I mean, like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go and hire a producer so we can have this stuff.
Got
done.
a producer. That's Phil. That's your producer. He just not up to snuff. You got to cuss him the hell out
from now on, because I can't do this like this, man. It's the videos. I don't know how to get the. Okay, fuck the videos. Anyway, so the man came at me with sex play. I'm not talking to everybody because everybody might not even understand what sex play is. That's the word. That's when you talking that backdooria to a man. The man came at me with sex play, and I tried to warn him. I tried to tell him, you can't play with me like that. So I'm realizing the camera's on me. It's a lot on the line. It's a lot on the line, but he's trying to act like he a man. I bet my life and safety he wasn't a man when I asked D to move and basically sat in his lap. Because if you walk up on a man like that, you could get your eye poked out. You can get sucker punched.
Yep.
You can get all kinds of things done.
And it would be a sucker punch. It'd be like, no, you walking up on me. That's a threat. I don't know what you plan on doing, but let's get it started. Let me get the upper hand on this and wipe this out real quick.
Look, I would never walk up on a man like I walked up on dude. I knew he was bumping his gums. I knew nothing was going to happen how I walked up on him. But except for like when you arguing with a female. Because that's all he did was yap after he backed up. Because when I first sat down, I was right up on him. Then after that, he kept yapping. A little bit after that, because I kept telling him, I don't do that dick sucking shit. He kept yapping. So I'm like, all right, say I suck dick again. He folded. That was my out. That was my out. I was like, this is all smoke and mirrors after this. Because I don't know why people who understand life couldn't see. The man was too scared to take his glasses off. He was froze. He just was yapping, like when you arguing with your girlfriend. The man, look, we're not talking no hypotheticals. I ain't gonna say what I would have did. I heard the man said I was shaking. Okay, if I was shaking, I bet you didn't say that sex play to me again. So I ain't no tough guy. I ain't got time for that. I had a production in Vegas this week where I was on stage joking and singing. I'm the entertainer. But he has mastered a wickedly brilliant way to get people to clickbait what he's doing. And it's a very dangerous way to live. It's a dangerous way to live because the things he did during this week, he really played himself. Because he has nothing else to do but talk crazy and act like he's...
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I knew it. I knew it, man. Like, he's like, so he's saying that he was watching all the stuff that he was saying about the interaction they have. And he went around so many, Anton was on everywhere talking about this with a lot of people. I'm pretty sure they called him and just say, hey, can we do an interview with you? And he did it, but he did it on Zooms and stuff or web links and stuff like that. So, but man, I didn't think about like Corey wasn't online talking and responding to it and stuff. I just didn't think about that. But if he's not responding to any of that and he's waiting until he comes back, then man, he probably doing a lot of vetting. Like, who is this guy? Who's his family? Like, who is his wife? Who was that girl? Who was that girl? And what was that girl? Why she was there and all the other stuff? Oh, she did a video? Okay, let me watch that. That's what was going on. So now we're seeing him come in and he's responding to all the stuff he's seen him overwhelmingly do and the clout that he had and the major favoritism he had with the internet traffic, where he knows his side of how he wanted people to see what happened to Corey. He had the narrative, and he won that narrative. And Anton said this is good business for him. So let's see if the exposure is worth it.
Doing this and act like he's doing that, homie.
Well, that, you know,
thanks for not beating me up. That's all I got to say. Thanks for not beating me up, dude. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen too, because that 30-day ban, then the only place they would have been able to go hear about it really was at his, you know what I mean, on his page, really.
Whatever would have happened, it would have happened if he was man enough to stick to his conviction of what he came here for. His conviction of what he came here for was to try and catch me off my square. And, you know, I'm a tell him and any advocate of him, and of course the people that root for what we're doing up here, I'm going to tell you this. Why don't you think what he did worked?
with YouTube.
Commercials.
I mean, it's a few reasons.
Why didn't it work? What he tried to do, why don't you think it worked? Craig, I would love to hear what you got to say about that.
Well, here's the thing, right? First of all, because we're comedians, so we think abstract. So we don't hear words the same way everybody else hears words. We don't experience situations in the same way. So what he took advantage of initially was you were coming from an honest place. You were really trying to have an honest intellectual dialogue.
They said I disrespected him when I said he was kissing white people's ass, and he was exactly kissing white people's ass. And to this day, he still has never said nothing about the contribution the Caucasian male has made to the downfall of this nation.
Right.
And he said, I'm not going into that.
Right.
He said it, and people forget about that. They forget that he never answered that question.
Right.
I'm sitting up here asking questions.
And it's a lot of the conversation wasn't nailed on both sides because Corey kept jumping to different things. So he would criticize him about one thing, and then however Anton answered it gave him another criticism, and he switched to that criticism of how he answered it, and then it went to another point, and it's just like they're bouncing around so much, so you can't keep things in context, and you can't ask the question, what has the white man did to the devastation of this country? And he said it like that. What have the white man did to this destruction of this country? What did the white man do towards the destruction of the white, dude, those are two separate situations. What did the white man do? What has the white man, why are you not criticizing white man and what they done to the destruction of this country? Why are you not criticizing white man? That's one. That's gotta be, you gotta let him answer that question. And then what do you think the destruction of what they did towards the destruction of this country? What do you think what do you think that white man did to the destruction of this country? That's a total separate issue. You got to keep those separate when you ask the question. He trying to conflate it into one question, but that's a leading question to do that. Because I don't agree with your premise of what they did to the destruction of this country. So it's separate when you say, why are you not criticizing the white man? So that was the problem. And because it was pile up, like criticisms and antagonizing to judge his response, or even Anton not paying attention to say, okay, hold on a second, let me answer. Those are two separate questions. Let's break that up. No, let's stop. Let's break that up. Let's try to keep this in line. You ask this question, you ask this question, you ask this question, you ask this question. We're going to go in one line. And let me please respond to you and ask you, it got into a masculine, why you dodging it? Why you acting like a bitch? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the situation. And it became, he didn't say why you acting like a bitch, but he said, you're kissing the white people ass. That's why you're not criticizing them.
This man come at me with some dick sucking shit.
Right.
I'm glad that he didn't have the courage to say it when I stood on it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I didn't have to call the lawyer in the morning and take that retainer over there, and I don't expect everybody to understand that. It's a lot of people ain't never had to give a lawyer $10,000 at one time. But that's what they start at if you really want a chance to be heard in the courtroom.
Well, when he say he studied you, he knows this. Like, we comedians, we got egos as far as like, we used to people sitting down and listening to what the fuck we got to say. So his strategy was to invalidate you. So no matter what you would have said, he was going to disregard it because he knew that would get you in a space like, nigga, what? So you
what? No, what'd get me in a space if you start sex playing me.
Right.
Because I wasn't there until I didn't stop. Like, fuck what we talking about. Hey, nigga, I don't do that dick sucking shit. I don't play like that. I don't know people who play like that. I'm talking about, it ain't nowhere where I'm from. I never seen whole shit like that before. I never saw nobody do nothing like that before.
But in the debate world, it's called baiting opposition. The whole purpose of it is to invalidate your credibility.
So in the debate world, or whatever you want to call it, I guarantee you this, the debate will stop if you tell a man brought up in ghetto America who don't move like that anything about dick sucking. The debate is out the window. It's what's up?
Right.
What's up?
You know what it reminds me of? Remember when Dennis Rodman was in the league and he was dressing crazy? And, you know, I forget who it was. I think it was Alonzo Mourning. And he kept slapping his ass, and Alonzo was like, you know, kind of mad. And he was yelling from the sideline, "You a sick man. You a sick man." Because Dennis Rodman knew, okay, this is his limit and this is my limit. My limit on this particular thing is a little further. So let me try to take him in deep waters. He was just trying to take you in deep. But you caught it, though, so it didn't work.
Yes.
But Dennis Rodman also was in front of cameras.
Right.
He knew
this is what we have to make sure is understood. Some people, when they in front of cameras, they understand this is basically court gear.
Right.
This is court gear.
Yeah.
It's proof of what happened. I can't respect all that in front of the camera stuff.
No.
I respect the work you put in elsewhere.
Yeah. Right. But he don't want your respect.
He ain't gotta have my respect. But I'm just saying, if you want, look, I am not ashamed of my masculinity. All my young guys out there who watching this, they're gonna try to make you think something's wrong with you if you have a line that a batty boy cannot cross. If you have a line where you like, don't play with my sexuality like that, they're gonna make it seem like you're hateful or you're something. You're not hateful, you are a...
Yeah, it is, and that's why I said they both play a factor to the communication that needs to be had with men and psychologically repairing the dynamics between men and women, and just culturally the world to how we conduct ourselves with each other, because it's so off, and one bit off in the relationship situation threw everything else off, and I think it's unrepairable. But also, men you're in a Homo sapien evolutional world, so you gotta conduct yourself by the rules and laws and stuff that are fairly given for individual people to have their rights and their lives respected by anyone that comes across it. So, vice versa. But it does. You do got to remember to be a man and to do the logical man things when you're kind of the leader, and you got to have the answers for what's going on around you. It's a lot. And it's always constant, because you gotta. Some people are in the average world, and they have to somewhat repair a lot of the damage psychologically that's done with behavior between the sexes and the culture and all that.
Man, you built like that. You supposed to fold it up as much as you can in this crazy world. But if somebody is testing your manhood like that, man, I'm telling you, man, I don't care how well composed you are. We still animals.
All day.
Mm-hmm. Don't play with mine, whoever you are. So some people want to say, well, that's all somebody got to do to set you off. I guess. I ain't from that world. Where I'm from, people don't go there with you.
Right. But he had the whole place set up, man. I was like, okay. Another thing he depended on, which was error and logic, is called false equivalency. He understands how we was raised, the era we was raised in. He really did study. He understands, the type of environment we came from. So he knows that people are going to take whatever they see and equate it to something, because they're not going to have enough understanding of what's going on to make an appropriate decision. So he knows that there's going to be some false equivalency. People are going to think this happened and this didn't happen. And it's nothing. Anybody that's thinking, that has a logical mind, knows the play, they laugh at it.
I can't give him credit for shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what you studied. When I was in your grill, you did not say it. That's why I told D to move. I'm like, oh, I'm finna bust this motherfucker.
It's real shit.
This motherfucker think I'm joking? And I kept getting him out. So I don't care what somebody say. It's the glasses. When you wear glasses, people think you smart. But I think the people that think people that wear glasses are smart are the dumbest people in the world. They put a man on TV, Dr. Fauci. This man had on glasses. Everybody thought he knew what he was talking about, and they did what he said.
Yep.
He gone with the money and everything. But the motherfuckers like me who was looking at Dr. Fauci like, man, fuck that motherfucker. We always the ones who they treat us like we don't know what we doing. We know what we doing. You can't come to me with no script about you got to do this if you want to survive. When I've been surviving out here without doing what they say ever since I was probably in 5th grade, and I realized I ain't fucking with what these people talking about. About 5th, 6th grade, that's when I realized, oh, this all sucker shit.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers with glasses can fool you. I studied. You didn't study me, because when I got up on you, you failed the test. And you'll fail it every time if a man in your face. I know it. It was broken down in a lot of ways. Only thing I didn't like when people was like, if he woke up on me, I don't walk up on men. But if you're not a man, I'll walk up on you. So if you speaking up like somebody did something wrong, it's because you got inadequacies. Because I ain't walk up on you. I walked up on that peon. And will walk up on him again, but I know I'll never see him again face to face. I ain't gonna never see him.
No.
We asked why his plan didn't work. You know why his plan didn't work? And I've told y'all before. I'm a chosen soldier of God. His plan didn't work. He thought he was gonna get me. It didn't work. He didn't have the courage to make his plan work. All he had to do when I was right there, say I sucked dick again. He didn't have the courage to follow through with his plan. I got bitches with more courage
plan
than him.
was that,
I got a
though?
bitch who was talking to me crazy. Shut your bitch ass up, Corey. I was like, hey, don't say that. Shut your bitch. I said, say bitch ass again. She said, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Now, after we wiped her lip off from what was dripping out of it, we was fucking again. And I told her, I can't really be around you no more because I can't control you. You crazy. You really are who you say you are. That motherfucker, if you a man, you know he's not who he says he is. Now, somebody else got something to say about that cake ass nigga. Go ahead.
No, shit, there you go.
Okay, I want to talk about the situation with the broad that he was with because she wanted to make herself known.
Yeah.
Somebody else who's chasing attention. She wanted to make herself known. When I said, get your ass and your bitch up out of here, I didn't say no names because I didn't even know who that was. I was stabbing at that nigga. If you really smart, you know that. You with the broad, get your bitch up out of here. I'm stabbing at the nigga. I'm trying to bring some courage out that nigga and make him stop doing all that talking. So, the broad who was with him, what's her name?
Don't know her name, but we got the video.
Play the video if you got it. Can you play the video? Yep. Let's make her famous.
How long? How long?
Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told.
Man, his production crew is retarded. Like, what is y'all doing, man?
That I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited.
All right. I was excited about going on the 5150 show. Last Tuesday, I got on a plane to go from DC to LA. I got to the 5150 studios at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I met Corey Holcomb. I was introduced to him. He shook my hand. Then about, I want to say 5 minutes before the actual show started, I was told, I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool.
I'm telling you, you don't want attention. Trust me. None of y'all do. But because Mika's pretty, she like the attack on her is not so relentless, but whoever's weaker than her around him or shows why he's appealing to her or giving her prominence, they gonna take a hit. And that's what's bad.
Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera. I said, okay.
Now, the worst thing you can do is open your mouth around me. I'm going to be able to cipher who you are. Young lady, as soon as you ride on the lot, it's cameras. As soon as you ride on the lot, it's cameras. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, D.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. You saw them get out the car, right?
Yeah, it was in my car still.
What did you observe when they got out the car about their energy together?
It was interesting for sure because, you know, to me, if you're walking up on somebody new, you freely introduce the whole crew.
Right.
And I walked right up to him and he said, oh, Miss Darlene or Miss D, whatever he said, gave me a handshake, what have you. Said, I'm not a handshaker, I'm a hugger. So we hugged. I introduced myself to the security guard. She was already walking towards the door. And it's not like he stopped her to say, and I thought, to me, I don't know. That's just very strange where it's like, well,
the fact that she got out the car and just ran right inside.
Because she wanted to, like, so what they, okay, so their theory is that she ran inside to act like they came separately or something. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't his side bitch or something. That's what she said, that she was pissed that everybody sees her as his side bitch and she ain't nobody's side bitch. But she wanted to not give off that appearance by separating herself, getting out the car and going straight to the side to the place, because that was one of the hosts that was, or people that's going to be on the show, so she didn't want to have that appearance of being like his side chick. It's interesting. So that's why they're analyzing it like that. My perspective, my individual perspective, but it's in the context.
And one with him.
Well, she wasn't near him, yeah, but she was walking more towards the door without him, so I don't know. I just find that very odd, because, okay. And then when I came in, I wanted to go up to her and introduce her, and I had already heard the stuff going on because Phil had made it clear. He said, hey, because he said, I don't know how that happened, Phil knows, but that where he mentioned something about the seats, or a seat, or something about her being on the show.
Hey, Phil, I ain't expect you to say this. What happened with, because you told me.
He made it.
You told me when I walked in the door, and I was looking like, shit,
Like,
this
what?
pussy motherfucker might not be on the show.
He didn't ask. Yeah, you said.
What happened with him?
He said something about her being on the show, and I said, did you talk to Corey about that? And he was like, no. So I told him that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Man.
So Mika was pissed that Corey didn't know who she was and why she was there, and they she feels that's why he was saying, "Who's the bitch? Explain the bitch, and why you trying to get her on my show?" You know what I mean? And she thought she was coming, and she as a guest with Anton, and as she was already invited to be on the show, and she was there as like no one know who she was and why she was there. And he said, you got me on here like I'm your side bitch, and I ain't nobody's side bitch. And now the producer asked him, like, okay, why Anton asked cause she be on the show, and he was asking for a chair to be brought out for her so she could sit on the set. And the producer Phil was saying, like, did you talk to Corey about her being on the show? And he said, no, I didn't talk to Corey about being on the show. He's like, well, you gonna have to talk to Corey about it. And now that's proof that Anton didn't introduce Mika or the knowledge of Mika to even Corey on the phone, that the conversation they were having, so she wouldn't be walking into a terrible situation. Hey, Mika, did you do another follow-up since he gave this comment? This is bad stuff, man.
He did.
Can they hear Phil?
Yeah. Corey rarely puts anybody on his show, period.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure everybody know what happened. Because the Broad said he had told her she was going to be on the show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. She did. She did.
If she got any common sense, she should know this a cake-ass nigga. If she got any common sense, she should know, oh, you a fuck boy. You told me I was plugged to be on the show. Because I believe he told her that. I believe he thought he had bargaining chips with a nigga.
I agree. Look, Anton, I agree that however that situation is, because she said you told her 2 weeks ago. So we can't say that. I mean, it didn't. The producer said that you mentioned getting her on the show, and he asked you, did you mention it to Corey? Corey said you didn't mention it to him. So that's the facts. We don't need you to say if you mention it or not, or if what you tried to do, or what kind of structure or setup that you were trying to do to get Mika on the show, or what was the premise of thinking that it was going to work, that she was going to just walk in and she was going to get on the show. Like stuff like that. We don't need your input no more, because we got from too many people. We got your side, Mika, somebody that you respect, somebody that's in your camp, saying that you told her 2 weeks ago that she was going to be on the show, and that from how the show ended, that she feels like she wasn't even mentioned, and she was there as not even mentioned or talked about to Corey. That all they seen her for it was that she was some side piece for you. And now we got corroborating evidence to what she communicated on her podcast with the producer, saying what he did, and obviously Corey don't know what was going on with them. You get what I'm saying? It's just a bad situation to how you talk to your audience, and what kind of psychological warfare you're doing and manipulation of need to know rope-a-dopes that you're doing to your audience in the totality of discussion of how to conduct yourself for greatness, which I feel, I already told people, if you go watch this episode, I told people that they got to be barbaric to get to where you're at, because that's what you did to get to where you at. And you're not alone. Barack Obama did it. President Obama did it. Oprah did it. Jay-Z did it. Most people do it. That's the difference.
He didn't have no bargaining chips. No, she can't come on the show. I don't know nothing about that. Just like he faked, like when he was on the phone, I told you, I come to do your podcast in person, and woo, but right after the show, he on there with Gooch and Yuck them on the phone. Some Zoom shit.
No, you mean where he said he doesn't really go on other people's shows.
Right.
Physically, not
yeah.
by
He said he's got to come But he right on the show with
What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was on the show with Yuck and Gooch, and I forgot the other brother name. But you know, guys who be up here at the Coin Academy. I'm like, I thought he said he didn't do that. Yeah. But back on the brawl. So it was really sitting in my head. I'm like, oh, this is bitch. Because I know how that shit go. Except, what was that clip we played in the beginning of the show? Yeah. Play it again.
Was it 20,000 or 25,000 people alive?
Yeah, we can't do this like this too much longer, man. This
Right.
It's gotta be
You can't too much longer. You can't do it another day. It should end today.
It's destroying the point. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
What I'm trying to say is this, man. The man claimed Christianity over everything. And Darlene, did you hear me when I said, I think it was before the show started, I said to him, well, the fact that you married is one of the reasons I brought you on here. Because you brag on being married.
Right, I remember that. And then somebody else in the room asked him something about his wife as well. So it was known.
Oh, I guess you could play it.
Taxes was feeling
Sorry about the commercials. That's why I say, man, it's that if you know what's wrong, what's bad about this is the collaboration of the two guys in that they all play a factor to, like, I see this even in the film world, in my world, the media world, in my world and stuff. Like for me, I'm always telling people that when you walk into the room, you gotta have control of that room. You have to have the value of being in that room. And number one thing you gotta have, you can't just say it to yourself, you gotta really mean it. No matter what happens in this room, I'm gonna do this with you or without you. I'm gonna get it done. With you or without you. Of course, you wanna have, you're there to have partnership, to have stability and function and a stable foundation to build from. That's why you collaborate with people. That's why you try to get investors. That's why you partner with producers and people. You want to have a foundation. But if you guys break apart in the midst of what we're doing, in the midst of doing it, I don't care. I'm a wrap this up. I'm going to find some way to conclude this. That's how my brain is. But also, it's just so bad because people, they would do stuff to destroy stuff. You know what I mean? I see people all day, man. I've been in some major conversations with some of the major power players in this city in filmmaking. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of backhanded, crazy stuff that if you're in desperation, if you're in whatever it takes to get on Tubi, whatever it takes to get on Peacock, whatever it takes to get on Amazon Prime, and you don't know how many hands in your pocket, how many hands on the product, when Tubi takes 50% off the top, and you split the 50 cent, who divided the 50 cent up? How many people divided the 50 cent up, and then it takes you years just to get like an inch of something to say, oh, this was worth it. Takes you years. Why? Because it's too many people's hands in the pot, and it's too many avenues to get to the platform, and the platform taking theirs right off the top. And what did they leave you? And it's just like it's so much persona and clout chasing and value and validation that people don't even care about the business. People don't care about the what it takes to get eyeballs like magnets to the content. And that's what I see and stuff. So it's really crazy. So I say that because collaboration and doing business with each other, especially black people, the ego stuff, people do shitty business and they don't check themselves. They need another person to check them. And I always say, man, when you over the age of like 30, 40, 50, you're supposed to be able to self-regulate, know what your failures are, know what your successes are, and be able to hear anything that to improve on it, or be looking to improve on certain things you know you're failing at. You got to analyze yourself bluntly, that nobody else should be able to tell you more about yourself. But how the people move is just everybody just trying to get an upper hand on each other. It's crazy. Oh, my sound was off. I'm sorry, guys.
Darlene, did you hear me when I said, I think it was before the show. Yeah, we can't do this like this too much longer, man. This can't be done. It's got to be a producer over there.
It's ridiculous, y'all.
It's destroying the point.
Not only the point, it's showing you that.
What I'm trying to say is this.
They should know this stuff by now. You guys did a ton of shows.
Christianity over everything. And Darlene.
Sorry for talking above him, but that stuff is crazy. Trust me, y'all. They got the bells and whistles over there. It's just about somebody actually knowing what they're doing and having the timing just set. And even if you it sounds like it's a person that's on the actual computer and doing the switchboard stuff, and you got somebody that's kind of Phil is the one who's doing the roaming around. Well, then Phil needs to have an actual sheet or an index card that tells him what spot the actual clip is for what the clip premise is, or a short description of the clip, so that you know the premise. So when they bring it up, they can just say, "Oh, go to clip 4, go to clip 5, go to clip 6, go to clip 1," and you should be able to tell him that on the index card, because it would tell you what's in the clip numbers on the cue card, so he could just yell it out and the guy could just push the button. But they so unorganized that and the producers feel need to be fired today. You get what I'm saying? Or Phil need to hire somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, we can't do this like this too much longer, man. This can't be done. It's got to be a producer over there. It's destroying the point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
What I'm trying to say is this, man. The man claimed Christianity over everything. And Darlene, did you hear me when I said, I think it was before the show started, I said to him, well, the fact that you married is one of the reasons I brought you on here, because you brag on being married.
Right, I remember that. And then somebody else in the room asked him something.
Anton says that he's like very successful in marriage and stuff, and that's what one of his major contributions to the people he gives advice to, and even to his platform and stuff, is his successful marriage. And I think it is successful. I obviously was the clip that I seen that them play when I was kind of scrolling through this stuff. It was eye opening. So I'll let them finish and get to the clip, and then maybe we'll go a little bit into that.
About his wife as well. So it was known.
Oh, I guess you could play it.
Black people, do you hate black people?
I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first.
Boy, you use your paper to fuck bitches you would normally never be around. You an ugly ass boy. You an ugly ass boy. You brag on having no children out of wedlock. You got a picture of his daughter? I'm a dirtbag. You got a picture of his
You
daughter?
are. You're definitely a dirtbag showing his daughter, man. You get what I'm saying? It's wild stuff, man.
This motherfucker brag on not having no children out of wedlock. What happened, D?
And my only problem with this stuff is because it's Howard Stern was like one of the most disrespectful people to his audience. And he was bringing his family on, his wife, his father and his mother and stuff. He would never fuck around and put his daughters on there. Never. He would do some of the most degenerate shit to other people's daughters and wild stuff, man. He was wild disrespectful to other people's daughters. And but he would never bring his daughters on his show, but he utilized other people's wives and their daughters and women to prove his point or to have things go on that he wouldn't want his daughters being involved in, but he didn't care about doing it to date people's daughters. And then fast forward to him starting to have a moral compass about it, where he's judgmental about everything and everyone. And he's like the holy grail of good people, Howard Stern act like. And it's just like, dude, you analyze and you devalued and did all kind of stuff to other people's daughters, and your daughters is is not fair game. Your stardom, your whoring to the pimp of success makes everything fair game. This is a situation I don't know, because I just don't see the context of why he's mentioning his daughter and stuff like that. But I understand that they're in it now. They're in it. And he's trying to take Anton's character and vet it. And for me, in his method, I gotta listen to what he said. I don't really know what he's saying. In his method, I gotta see if it's accurate how he's vetting Anton. I gotta see if it works, if it's actually accurate how he's vetting them. So I gotta let him go through it. But when a TV show, a news actually makes a comment and they give like proof, evidence to the comment that they made, now you have to see, is the comment in context? Is the comment accurate? Is the comment structured? And the evidence to the evidence. Is the comment structured to the evidence that was presented? So that's why I gotta let them go through it. And it's because it's so much stuff out there of Anton's point of view of what happened that on last Tuesday show with him and Anton. There's not a lot of a response from Corey. This is his response. He waited till today to give his response. And I'm not going to mute him. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to do stuff that I feel that's not freedom of speech. It is not, and I'm a freedom of speech warrior. I don't give a shit about what YouTube, like I'll play a little game of not saying specific things and you got to abbreviate and go in code and all that stuff. But I don't give a shit about how loyal YouTube is to freedom of speech. That ain't me. I'm a freedom of speech warrior. So I cannot clip this guy or cut him or cut his context. That's why I got to let it play out.
It crashed.
The Holcomb incident.
Now, that's the broad.
I was told.
Y'all can get the broad off. That's his daughter. This man said he ain't got no children out of wedlock. Nigga.
That's Cool daughter.
That's who?
Not Cool Mo D, Cool Mo daughter.
That's the air up there, nigga. Look, nigga, let me tell you something.
And she's a well-accomplished girl and stuff. and she's awesome. I think she's like black belt in like some martial arts and stuff like that. She tours and do competitions and all that stuff like that. And she's winning, man. She's winning. You know what I mean? And he set her up pretty good. So, like he said, he wants her to fail or succeed in controlled environments and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, it's crazy. I don't want to be on screen that long. I'd rather have them talk it out. But that they're showing her is wow. But Anton is a famous man, and he brings her up all the time. And where did they get this photo from? Did they get it from Anton's profile?
Don't make no more kids, nigga. That bitch gonna be buying pussy like you after a while. If you don't know, nigga,
stupid.
don't ever brag on no
He's a comedian, dude.
What you ain't got. Don't nobody want no kids with.
The worst thing about comedians is their job to joke about irony. Okay? That's their job. That's their number one job, is to joke about irony. And oh boy, what is his conversation that he's having? Is it an irony? The use of words to express something different from the often opposite to their literal meaning. I'm sorry, I'm having a bad time reading. Too small. My problem. The use of words to express something different from and often opposite of their literal meaning. You get what I'm saying? So he's saying that, and I feel that this context, that's why I said comedians are like their number one thing is to point out irony in different situations. He said that he feels like he runs around talking about how Christian he is and all, and like his, stand faithful or whatever. I'm not saying faithful, but not having no kids out of wedlock or something like that. And he's saying the irony of not having no kids out of wedlock is your daughter. Now that's wow, but that's a comedy joke, and it falls into the premise of what comedians do. They point out the irony of things. You get what I'm saying? The obvious and the irony of it. So I just wanted to point that out, because no matter how hard he goes, and trust me, this is my first time listening to this. That's why I'm laughing, because it's a joke. You get what I'm saying? And he's a comedian, and that's brutal. It's so brutal. So brutal. Now, I might not be able to ever do business with Anton after reviewing this and reacting to it, but I don't take the side of Corey, because I think this is the kind of disgusting for him even pointing this stuff out. But I understand his response to all the stuff that's been going on for the last week or so. And this is how he wants to communicate the structure and the characteristics of who he interacted with and who Anton is, and why Anton Daniels kind of came on the show and beefed with him, or whatever the situation that he started, Corey started, or whatever is the outcome of it is, he's pointing out the reason why it was always on turbulence ground is because of the irony of him, and that he doesn't like, and he feel like he's a contradiction, and he's a walking talking contradiction, and it's just too much irony of arrogance to point out about Anton, and that's what he's saying. So I'm just playing it out.
You nigga.
Now,
that's the broad.
I was told.
Y'all can get the broad off. That's his daughter. This man said he ain't got no children out of wedlock. Nigga.
That's Cool daughter.
That's who?
Not Cool Mo D, Cool Mo daughter.
That's the air up there, nigga. Look, nigga, let me tell you something. Don't make no more kids, nigga. That bitch gonna be buying pussy like you after a while. If you don't know, nigga.
And there's no proof that Anton buying any stuff. But Mika doing the flying her in and out and all that stuff like that, and like meetups in Detroit and all that stuff like that. I don't know. It all kind of falls under it. You know what I mean? So, but he said he makes a lot of money off of Mika, so be it. So whatever he does and stuff. So I don't know. It's crazy. If Mika got a husband, I'm gonna say this. I didn't want to pass a judgment, but I do say this because that's just crazy. If Mika has a husband and that characteristic is going out there and he's doing well for her and taking good care of her, because she says she don't work and she never had a job and stuff like that, and her man takes good care of her. Or I think she's married. She says I think the ring that she had on her finger indicate that she's married on her show. And then even just I think it was a show where I know it was a show where Q mentioned that he called her to just talk to her about the show and all that stuff, but it was like 1 a.m. and he had to catch himself because he said, "Hey, I'm calling the married ladies." Her phone, and he kind of let it slide. So it's been plenty of times where indication that Mika is married, but is her man allowing her to be used, like her persona and her looks and all that stuff to be used like that? I don't know. And I don't hate. I don't want to do any like hating and clock blocking, because that's what that is, to analyze that. But as they talk about this stuff and Mika, he cuts out Mika and talk about Mika, it's just like, I hate that she's out there like that, where she's getting attacked for being like a side bitch, because that's the persona that's out there about her. And then she admits that, not even that I'm saying it, she admits that that persona is what she's getting judged on right now. She's getting judged that she's like a side bitch. She's getting judged like that. She's saying that's how she's been perceived in the eyes of how people look at her. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just mentioning it just to make sure that we stay in context. Now, I'm going to pause this right here, and we're going to come back with a final continuation to this, because we've been going a little bit long on this one. I don't want this to be like 5 hours, just 3 hours and 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause. We're going to come right back to right here, and we're going to pick it up from here, and we're going to finish this on out, because I want you to see the response that Anton has to this crazy stuff. But we do got about another 5 minutes to play of Corey talking crazy. You get what I'm saying? So we'll continue on this one, and we'll come back. Look, please hit the like, follow. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, and I'll see you guys in a few. Give me about a few to get back online and jump right back in on this, and we're going to finish this on up and pick up right where we left off, okay? But also, I'm building a panel, and I would like for you guys to use the Individual Perspective Podcast at gmail.com, Individual Perspective Podcast at gmail.com. I want you to join my panel, and I need you guys to give me your email so I can send you a link and all the other stuff, or us introduce ourselves to each other so we can get it started. Okay, I'll see you guys in a moment, and I'll see you soon. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. I'll be back.